Yeah, so this is something I wanted to talk about recently. I ain't get no time to talk about it because I know I'm not gonna want to talk about it next week. But I was sitting back thinking, especially after today. Today I was sitting back looking, and I'm seeing all these interviews with Keyshawn Davis, and all of them is about Tank. And I'm like, man, the media is asking Keyshawn Davis a lot of questions about Tank Davis right now. I'm like, ain't no way this gonna keep going. Bro, I don't know. He called out Tank when? November? So Tank done had 2 press conferences since then. They asked him about Shakur, but they ain't asked him that much about Keyshawn. Now Keyshawn shows up. Shakur getting questions about Tank. Now Keyshawn getting questions about Tank. You know, the average person never like, yeah, he getting questions. It ain't really that big of a deal. They just asking him. I understand what you're saying, but this is why it's a big deal to me. The whole situation that's going on. First of all, before Keyshawn got that knockout, a lot of people wasn't really mentioning him with Tank at all. Even me, this time last year, I was talking about Tank and Andy Cruz. I'm like, shoot, they around the same age. Yeah, gold medalist. What time? I mean, he should be stepping in the ring with him right now. That's how my mindset was. But now it's Keyshawn got the knockout over Lemos, which was the worst case scenario if you somebody like Tank, because now that's getting all the momentum for them to ask you about Keyshawn now. And now they ask Keyshawn about you. So that means Keyshawn getting better. Then Tank said he getting better. He looking better than Shakur Stevenson. That don't help. So the reason I got the question there, can Keyshawn Davis replace Tank? The reason I'm asking that is because, first of all, he gonna retire someday. So let's keep it a buck. But that's not just the question I'm asking. I'm asking because is he gonna be doing the things that everyone's asking Tank to do? I've been seeing a lot of people ask him to fight Baranchik and uh Zepeda, Lomachenko, all these questions. I mean, it's to the point now where people are so desperate. And I'm not just saying desperate because they're a boxing fan. I mean, you asked for a fight you want to see. But I'm just saying, they saying the most unrealistic fights. Especially to Shakur, not Shakur, but Keyshawn Davis right now. They asking him to fight Shakur Stevenson. Knowing that he ain't in a position where he trying to fight Shakur right now. But I'm going to tell y'all why that's an issue. They're asking him to fight Keyshawn Davis Shakur Stevenson right now because some of these people believe that he'll jump in the ring and fight Shakur before Tank will. And I'm not being funny. This ain't no joke cracking. I'm being real with you. Think about it. Why would anybody ask Shakur Stevenson, realistically, to fight Keyshawn right now? Knowing that you close to getting a Tank fight in some of y'all guys' minds. Why would you ask him to fight Keyshawn Davis right now? Why would Shakur and Keyshawn Davis be an option if you know they got Tank right there? And Loma can possibly still jump out and fight. So a lot of these people think that he could possibly fight Shakur Stevenson before somebody like Tank will. Not saying that Tank won't, but that's how some of these people thinking right now. I mean, all these interviews about Tank. I'm like, yep, the pressure is on right now. The pressure is on. When they got other, that's just like me right now. We got a fighter at 140. You know, Devin Haney's technically still at 140, going up to 147. You know, so that's just like me right now. At 140, I'm like, man, the fight to see right now. You know, people are still asking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. They're not asking for Ryan Garcia to fight nobody else. They're not even asking Ryan Garcia to fight Tank right now. They're not saying, man, Tank, move on. Go ahead and fight. Ryan, move on. Go ahead and fight Tank. You're not even hearing fans say that. I'm not hearing nobody say that. Ryan, you need to move on, man. Go ahead and just fight Tank. I ain't hearing that from nobody. So for them to just go out of their way and say, oh yeah, Shakur and Keyshawn, they need to fight each other. Even with them putting the face off picture and video out, people like, yeah, but they ain't gonna do it though. Yeah, but you still don't know for sure if they will or won't though. They holding out hope and everything. So the fact that Baranchik is now, you gotta think about it. Keyshawn is finna be a 135 champion if he wins this fight, like Tank. So it ain't gonna be no undisputed unless Keyshawn involved. So at this point, until the fight between, I'm hearing people saying that, bro, and that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. It's like 4 or 5 years in a row. I think the last one that everybody got right was Ryan, and that was obvious. But I mean, the same old, same old. We in the next year, and people still throwing out names like, oh well, it's gonna be Loma, Keyshawn, Shakur. Man, get out of here, dog. Man, still fighting 130s. Quit throwing out 135 fighters. Like these people still doing that. They still naming 135s. Ain't that insane? Tank obviously fighting another 130. And they like, yeah, we finna throw out some 135 names. Man, you better be naming some 130s. Some guys who are champion, you better be naming O'Shaquie Foster or somebody. That's realistic right now. They talking about Ray Ford. I was hearing his name. Just got the 130. They like, oh man, you heard what Tank and Ray Ford was saying online? I'm like, oh, here we go. Here go another one. But yeah, people just don't understand how they affecting these guys' careers. We at a stage right now where Keyshawn Davis is about to be a 135 champion, and people are still talking about him fighting Andy Cruz. We still talking about him fighting Andy Cruz or losing to Andy Cruz. Like, bro, that was like 5 years ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man's finna be a 135 champion. These people still thinking from 5 years ago. I'm trying to give a heads up with the Lamone situation. I'm like, man, they hyping this dude up way too much, man. And I'm glad they did because now it's obvious that they wanted to ignore Keyshawn's performance on purpose. They ignored it. They didn't want to pay no attention to his performance. They thought he was going to go out there and get washed. They thought he was going to get washed. And guess what? It was a Tank Davis type of performance. Against an opponent, they said that was a great fighter. I bet they'll say Lamo's a bum now. Every comment section was saying he was going to win, but they'll say he a bum now. And he got stopped in the second round. And got dropped 3 times. Yeah, so the performance that he put on just recently, let me go back and look at some stuff. Yeah, the closest thing, yeah, I seen Tank do the same thing against Ricardo Nunez. Second round stoppage against Ricardo Nunez. But this was more impressive because Nunez was a 130. The most came into this fight at 140. 141. Against a 35. And got destroyed. So at this point right now, Keyshawn doing the same type of stuff Tank doing. Recently, I was like, because, I'm not really no hater. Like, I ain't gonna cap. I was like, I don't know. It's far-fetched to sit up here and say Keyshawn is on the level of Tank right now. But no, it's not. It actually is not right now. It's not. Not because he got the stoppages last fight. Nothing like that. That didn't change my mind about how I think about him. It's the fact that the outside people feel like he's ready. Like, outside people feel like he's ready now. The demand is high for Keyshawn Davis to be in the ring right now. And if his demand is going up, somebody's demand going down. Now, I will be foolish. Well, I'm going to ask the next question. Whoever want to hear it later on in the comment section, if y'all want to make a comment about it. But right now, if you had to pick an opponent, who's the toughest opponent right now? Is it Keyshawn going against the Ukrainian Olympian who just beat Navarrete, beat the crap out of him? Or would it be Lamont Roach who just recently dropped Hector Garcia? Like, who are we going with? Because I can go with both of them world champions. But look what Varanchik background though. Ukrainian, off the same Olympic team as Usyk and Lomachenko. Come on, man. And Vozic. So at this point right now, you're asking a guy who's extremely younger to do the same things or do what you was asking. I'm not a big fan of that, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you, history shows that once fans start asking another fighter to do things they want their favorite fighter to do, that becomes your new favorite. That's it. You're not even asking your favorite to do anything anymore. It's like you accept whatever. They retired already. They doing basically exhibitions while they still current in their career. Because ain't no way right now people should be thinking about, well, Keyshawn, he should fight this guy and this guy next. I'm like, whoa. I mean, last time I checked, he don't need trouble picking his opponent. I don't understand that. He don't need he don't need help picking his opponent. And he's active. Like I said, like Bob Arum, he gonna move the fighters the right way. And the thing about it is you can't say it's an issue with promoters because everybody just said Bob Arum was trying to put the fight together with Lomachenko and Tank, so that ain't gonna work. And I don't know why Tank be having issues with guys he done already sparred before. Everybody ain't lying about sparring now. And a lot of these spars be tough. I ain't saying he getting stopped this sparring, nothing like that. Sparrings be tough. Or at least you cheating the fans, one or the other. Cause there been a few guys that fought guys they sparred. And it been some of the best fights. So you can't really say that's a factor. All the time. But when it causes issues with a person you already sparred, I mean, I would look at it as a free opportunity. But it shows that who's trying to fight though. At first I was looking at it like, man, this might be some fake beef. Then I thought about it. I'm like, no, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like Keyshawn wants to fight. This ain't his brothers. Like the way Keyshawn look at his brothers, he ain't finna turn around and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight them. But Tank, yeah, he think Tank a good guy, cool, whatever. But that don't mean that I'm not finna fight you or I don't want to fight you. My career ain't gonna go on, and nah, that ain't gonna happen. But he just gotta realize though, the wall's closing in, man. Like right now, it's already obvious he fight 130s when he don't really have to. Then Andy Cruz fighting this weekend. That's why it's like ain't no reason. I've been talking about Andy Cruz already. I want to see Andy Cruz in the ring with a top 135. I don't want to be going to 140 still talking about, well, Andy Cruz, he need to fight a top fighter. He at 140 now. I ain't trying to go through all that. Either he's fighting the top 135 now or he's not. But I think Keyshawn's gonna be a big part of pushing forward a lot of these divisions. I think he the key to a lot of this stuff. The reason being is because I was thinking about it recently. Yeah, he can go to 140, but it ain't no reason to really rush to 140. He already got his brother at 140. It ain't really no reason to rush there. I mean, he can. That ain't gonna stop him from doing anything, but it ain't no reason to really rush up there. You only could be at 135 one time. It don't seem like he having trouble making weight from what I'm seeing. So if I was him, I'd chill as long as I can. So he's gonna be the guy that possibly gonna be asked to do certain things. He has the advantage. He's on the side with Lomachenko. Okay, he has access to, let's just say, the belt. If the belt don't get picked, no, if the belt gets dropped, he might have a possible option if fighting for that belt. Who said Tank don't drop the belt he got? If he say, man, I ain't getting the fights I want, I'm gonna just drop it. They said Loma ducking, so that would have been a reason to drop the belts right there. They said Shakur was ducking, so if Tank would have just dropped the belt, if I was Tank, I would have just dropped the belt then. But he knows his options down there though. And moving right now would be a huge mistake, knowing that once you gone, it's gonna be hard to come back. And he's already done it once, so it doesn't make sense at this point. That's why I didn't understand the situation with Barrios. That fight happened, and now people was talking about, well, he's too small and he's a smaller guy. For 140? Y'all saying he's a smaller guy for 140? If that's the case, then just move Keyshawn up then. If he's a smaller guy at 140, just move Keyshawn up. I mean, that's gonna happen eventually. He's already talking about 140 fights. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying guys is gonna be better guaranteed or whatever. I'm just talking about it's easy to get replaced these days. You can easily get replaced. They talking about Andy Cruz right now. What's up with Andy Cruz versus Tank? Ain't nobody discussing that. They gonna keep talking about Keyshawn versus Andy Cruz. You see what I'm saying? That was like the first step I learned last year. I'm like, bro, they don't even know it. They already asking Keyshawn to do stuff they should be asking Tank. If he the top fighter in the game. Bro, when Floyd was the top fighter, we mentioned Floyd's name with everybody. We said Floyd need to see Cotto. These are fans of Floyd. We talking about fans of Floyd Mayweather. Oh, Floyd, you need to go to 54. You need to see Cotto. Oh, you need to see who else we said Floyd need to see? Hatton was a name that was thrown around. But Mosley was definitely a name. People was like, he was ducking Mosley. I'm talking about tough. I was like, even with the Zab fight, I was like, bro, Floyd gotta do something against Zab. I ain't trying to hear that. Against Zab, Cotto, and Mosley. You see, I don't think Andy Cruz has a chance. Oh no, Andy Cruz got a chance in the fight. He got a chance against everybody. That's why I want to see him fight. Oh no, I'm high up on Cruz. Cruz a bad style matchup for Tank. Yeah, it ain't the same though. Keyshawn he boxed different. I wouldn't even lie to you. If it was the same, if I thought it was the same, I would sit up here and be like, yeah, Keyshawn to get outboxed by. But even before he showed the power in his last fight, I felt like Keyshawn had a little edge to him. I didn't like how Andy Cruz looked in the last fight, the fight before this. I thought last night he looked like a complete fighter. He's still rusty. Like, he's not really all the way. Oh, yeah, he looked good against Southside, though. He looked good. Yeah, he looked good in his last fight. Yeah, I give him about a B+. He looked good in his last fight. But he's still not, how would I say this? Even though he got more experience, he's an older guy, he's still figuring out when to turn it on and turn it off. You know what I'm saying? So I think him fighting Keyshawn last year would have been a mistake. If he would have fought Keyshawn last year, it would have been a mistake. He's gotten better in his last 2 fights, Andy Cruz, so he's kind of dangerous. But if he was to go in there with somebody like Pitbull or Tank, yeah, he'll be able to do something. But styles like Shakur and Keyshawn, it'll give him problems. Yeah, I want to see him against a boxer. Yeah, he has a hard time against Mexicans though. He be having a little. Yeah, he has a hard time. Yeah. Yeah, that's why he fighting those type of guys. He not used to fighting Mexican fighters like that. A lot of people think they do that to build their resume up, but nah, sometimes those be the guys that end up beating you. Shoot, most of the big matchups and upsets have came from Mexicans with like 1 or 2 losses in the last 12 months. So if you somebody who's like Andy Cruz, you haven't fought that many Mexicans in your career, you better fight 20 Mexicans in a row. Because it's gonna be that one Mexican you didn't fight, that type of style that. And he struggles with that Mexican style, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be real. That's why he's fighting it now. If he would have came out the gate fighting somebody like Tank or Cruz early in his career, like Pitbull, like this first or second fight, man, he would have struggled. Cause he's not used to fighting that style. Super aggressive guys like that. Yeah, 2025, good, man. A lot of people were sleeping on last weekend, but I knew the anyway fight was gonna go the way it did, so I wasn't really too excited about that. But once the fight did happen though, the weekend was good. This weekend gonna be better. Then Shields fighting on Sunday. I forgot about that. I didn't forget, but I kind of do keep forgetting. But this year gonna be good though. It's a lot of matchups, man. Then Keyshawn fight next week against Baranchik. It's just gonna be a good year, especially with boxing. You know, at this point, we ain't gotta really say too much about ducking. It's just guys ain't trying to make the fights right now. You know, it's the only thing that's going on. Not too much ducking going on, just guys ain't making the fights happen. He said brought in Hot Rod as a sparring partner for gonna be there. He should have brought in Vozy. I would have brought in old boy that Benavidez fought last. But yeah, that's a good, if you can get anybody, that's a good sparring partner to get. Yeah, Morrell ain't playing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Morrell ain't playing. Starting to be a fighter I really like a lot. He ain't playing. Still took the fight already. Hard to go against him, man, for real. A lot of these guys they be iffy trying to jump in the ring with Benavidez. Yeah, he's not playing. Oh yeah, it might be that dude that just got that upset recently. Yeah, Morrell, he gonna be ready. It's gonna be hard to prepare for that. Just like it's gonna be hard for Benavidez to find somebody that's similar to Morrell. I think it's gonna take some adjusting in the ring. Yeah, I want to see what happens, man. I want to see Benavidez gonna get that chin tested, bro. We gonna see what Benavidez chin is like. I think Benavidez got a chin, but I haven't seen it really tested to the point where he got rocked with somewhere. I'm like, whoa. I've seen him get rocked, but y'all know what I mean. One of those Munguia type of shots. I can see Morrell rocking him and getting him up out of there. Yeah, Tank don't be playing, bro. That's funny. Yeah, Tank don't be playing, man. He always do this before the fight come up too. That's the funny part. As soon as the fight comes up, he start tweeting. I'm like, he does it every time. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping. I'm like, I hope Tank just stay quiet. He don't say nothing before the fight. I want to see how many people hype it up. Then he started talking. I'm like, oh man, come on, man. He know it's gonna hype everybody up as soon as he start talking. It ain't got nothing to do with the fight, but you know. Yeah, you see how he was tripping about the Shakur Stevenson question. Shakur ain't did nothing. What he done did? Keyshawn looking better. I'm like, I'm glad he said Keyshawn looking better though. Bet. Bet. Need to go ahead and make that fight. Yeah, I know. Baranchik, bro, he be taking some shots. He got a chin. And he be moving and dipping low. Keyshawn might think he off balance. Baranchik, yeah, he got a little weird style, bro. He'll go in there and get whooped. Playing around. Yeah, this ain't no easy fight. Baranchik, he got a weird style. It's very weird. It's like a sloppy drunk Lomachenko. Y'all ever seen like them drunken kung fu fighters? I forgot what they used to call them guys. The drunken monkey or something. But those guys be off balance. Baranchik, he boxed like that a little bit. Yeah, man. I be trying to tell people, bro. I be like, bro, they gotta start putting some pressure on Tank to fight the best, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he in his prime right now. Like Tank in his prime right now. He in his prime right now. I seen when Canelo was fighting John Ryder, I was like, man, he getting old right in front of my face. I felt like I was watching Tyson and Jake Paul fight. I was like, Canelo getting old right in my face. I said, I can just see it. And people don't understand it. Tank fighting 130s right now, so he looks spectacular. He gonna get to about 33. He gonna try to fight a 140, and they gonna be like, well, he just ain't got it no more, bro. I told y'all that though. Y'all acting like this man's 6 foot. His flexibility ain't gonna carry like that. He ain't Pacquiao. That's what I was saying earlier, Chris, before you got on here. I was like, bro, he might fight Ray Ford first, man. Bro, I'm telling you, look, think about all the names, Chris. Think about all the names that they have said in the last couple of years when it comes to Tank Davis. The only one they got right was Ryan Garcia, and that was obvious. But if you think about all the names they've named, these people still naming 130s and 140s. I'm like, bro, Tank fighting a 130 right now. Like, if you're going to name any opponents he could possibly fight, let's start at 130. Like, why are we still talking about 135? This dude got 3 dudes at 135 calling him out. And everybody talking about don't nobody want to fight him. Everybody ducking. How? Come on, man. I know the game. See, the way that everybody said, they tried to say Deontay Wilder got built up like this. See, this is where everybody messed up at. You had everybody named mama sit up here talking about, well, Deontay Wilder, he ain't fighting real fighters. He just fight Pacific fighters, and they trying to build him up. Now that he fighting real fighters, he losing. Bro, the dudes that he lost to, that dude still ain't trying to fight him. Fight them guys. What you talking about? Ain't nobody trying to fight Joseph Parker right now. So they know what time it is. They know what time it is. That's why I be pressing the gas sometimes, because dudes be trying to make little side comments on real fighters who actually taking tough fights. But they okay with guys going down 5 pounds. That's why I'm finna watch Clarissa Shields this weekend. Somebody who actually goes up 20 pounds to fight people. She fights somebody 10, 20 pounds heavier than her this weekend. I think Clarissa Shields said she be at like 165 or something. This girl, she fighting like 190. And these dudes crying about 5 pounds and want me to pay $100 to watch that. Come on, man. Please. Come on, man. I'm gonna pay $100 for a fight I'm never gonna watch again. Let's be real. He said, "What's up, man? What was you saying? Yeah, he could be all on." He said, "What? Yeah." Yeah, nah, ain't no bad. Like he gotta understand. The Tank gotta understand. This is his career. Like, bro, if Tank don't understand this right now, 135 ain't look this good when Terrence Crawford was down there. Imagine if Terrence Crawford was at 135 again right now. Y'all already know the answer to this question. Imagine if Terrence Crawford was at 135 right now. You think we'll have to ask Terrence Crawford, hey, Terrence Crawford, would you fight Shakur Stevenson, then Loma, and then Keyshawn? You think I'll be on here talking about, man, yeah, Loma ducking, Keyshawn ducking. Man, nah, I ain't finna be saying that. They know what time it is. If Terrence Crawford was still at 135, you said one trip on it, but stick talk. I ain't gonna count till you stick talk, and I noticed this recently. Most of these fighters is one trick ponies. I've noticed this recently. Most of these fighters is one trick ponies. I think Tank Davis a one trick pony. If you want to be real about it, I can make a case right now that I've seen guys that fought the same guys that Tank fought, and they fought those guys better than Tank did. I've seen people that fought the same guys that Tank fought, and they did just as good as Tank did against the fights. The only thing Tank did was get a stoppage. He ain't did nothing good as far as the boxing. Most of the fighters these days is one trick ponies. That's why you got guys like Keyshawn Davis right now looking the way he is. I can make a case right now based off of everything I've seen. I can make a case that Tank Davis is a one trick pony. And that's not me hating, that's being real facts. For Ryan Garcia to even look the way he did against him in the beginning of that fight, I was embarrassed as a fan of Tank. And that's right, my right hand to God. It's not that serious, but I'm just putting that out there. I was like, he letting Ryan Garcia get, what's up, Wild Man? What's going on, dog? But most of these fighters are one-trick ponies, though. Most of these guys either got power and can't box. Ryan Garcia got power, but he can't box. And the power has an expiration date on it. Tank has power, but he gets outboxed. No way he should have been toe-to-toe with Eastside Cruz the way he was. So most of these guys get out. Look at Tyson Fury. They said Tyson Fury had power, but he got outboxed by a cruiserweight. So the stuff that these guys is good at, they can't even get it done. You know what I'm saying? These guys ain't even good at the stuff they supposed to be good at. Tyson Fury is supposed to be an exceptional boxer. His skill level supposed to take him all the way to the end. Can't get it done, bro. Like the stuff these guys is good at, they're not even that good at it. You said Usyk might be the most complete fighter? Yeah, he's always been that way. It didn't take me to see they was talking about anyway was the most complete fighter last year. You know what I'm saying? So you know how boxing is. Whoever the hot guy is at the time. You know, they gonna figure out 2025, all the names and stuff. It ain't gonna, bro, most of these guys are one-trick ponies, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. It's only certain guys that really can go out there and throw combinations, jab, and everything else. Most of these guys do the same stuff Wilder do it, and they ain't got no power. Look at Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker ain't knocking out nobody. He going 12 rounds with everybody. Pillow fist. Do he get called pillow fist? No. Look at Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois gets outboxed in most of his fights, but he gets stopped. But he gets stoppages. Yeah, just certain fights though. But most of these guys is one-trick ponies though. That's why when we talk about certain fighters like Floyd, who was knocking guys out early, that's why when people talk about Terrence Crawford, I'm sitting here like, bruh, Terrence Crawford, almost 40 years old, stopping everybody. He don't stop one person, and he ain't that good because he went up in weight. I'm like, nah. And everybody know that's a complete fighter. He's done it against everybody. Went up in weight, outboxed the exceptional boxer who everybody gonna see how good he is against Virgil Ortiz. When everybody see Majramov get in the ring with Virgil Ortiz, they gonna realize how good he is. Trust me. It ain't too many boxers out here calling out Majramov right now. If you want to get a big name, beating the crap out of Majramov right now would be the biggest way to have a big name right now. He said I always call cap on Tank sparking out middleweights and heavyweights is sparring. If his power is like that, then it will translate up to 140. Nah, he be getting guys up out of there at one. Tank be getting middleweights and heavyweights, cracking them and getting them up out of there. Yeah, he that good. But what they be capping about is Chris is what weight he be at when he be doing it. That be the cap. That's why it ain't really no conversation to have, because they don't understand what they saying. And then when they say it, so they trying to tell everybody, oh yeah, Tank be knocking out guys at 135 and 140. Then they'll say, then you be like, hold on, so why is he walking around at 135 and 140 if he fighting guys at 130? Huh? Why is he fighting 130 and 135 if he weighs 135? And they'll be like, nah, but he weighs more than that. You know, all boxers don't walk around at their weight. Yeah, but what weight though? Well, like 155? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Ain't no way I'm fighting at 135 and I'm showing y'all I weigh 140 a month and a half before the fight even close. And I'm celebrating and I weigh what? 140 and I walk around at 155? I don't know, dog. I know a lot of people who weigh in for a living. It's not one person who's gonna tell you that sound about right. So it really be the weight he be walking around at. If you just want me to keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? That be the thing I've heard. I'm trying to watch my words. I ain't trying to embarrass no boxers on here or nothing, but bro, y'all done seen some dudes walking around heavy recently to where it's like, bro, these dudes be blowing up, bro. I know y'all done seen the Billy Joe Saunders. I hate to play this video. I might, if I find it, I'll pull it up. And I hate to pull this video up. But bro, these dudes be blowing up, man. Like what the fans be saying, they don't be knowing, bro. These dudes be blowing up ASAP, bro. Come on, man. This is Andrew Ruiz type weight right here. Like Andrew Ruiz walks around like this. You know what I'm saying? But to be somebody who fought Canelo recently, to be walking around like this, nah. He said, what's up, Ethan? What's going on, man? He said, Keyshawn has fought no one. You fanboys be tripping. You said Keyshawn has fought no one? You said Keyshawn has fought no one. Last time I heard Keyshawn fought Tank Davis. Is Tank Davis a no one? It was sparring, but is that no one though? Ain't no way a guy who fought Tank Davis for free is fighting no one. Ain't no way a guy who fought Tank Davis for free is fighting no ones, man. I understand what you're saying though, Ethan. You said Keyshawn is ducking Andy Cruz. I don't think he's ducking Andy Cruz. I think Andy Cruz, they gonna meet eventually. You said sparring. Obviously, you never been in a ring. Ethan, I just seen half the whole world celebrating that Ryan Garcia posted a clip of Tank Davis sparring Devin Haney in the ring. So as much as I don't know about sparring or boxing, or I could not know about sparring or boxing, but I seen how everybody was making a whole cahoots in a situation because they put out a 2-minute clip of Devin Haney sparring Tank Davis. Tank Davis and Devin Haney sparring probably got more views than most of Tank Davis's fight highlights. So we can just say it's just sparring, but guess what? The fans they've lost their mind over that fight. And we talking about a fight that happened, what, 10 years ago? You said every fighter is 20, 25 pounds overweight, nothing new here. That's cap, Green Knight. Every fighter is not 20, 25 pounds over. Zerto Ramirez was 50 pounds over before he fought Bivol. He got arrested. He was 230. He weighed in at 175. So every fighter is not 20 to 25 pounds overweight. Some guys are actually more overweight than others. So that's definitely not correct. And that is something new here. And you can look that up because he got arrested. So it's public knowledge. I'm just not up here talking. Y'all really think I'm up here just, first of all, I know everybody gets sensitive about Tank Davis, but if you can find anybody else that's on YouTube that was saying Tank Davis was looking at fighting guys like Lamont Roach, Frank Martin, we can throw in there, y'all look, I wasn't on YouTube because I was saying Hector Garcia. Because what's old boy name? Chris Colbert. Come on, man, the dude been fighting 130s for how long? Why would I sit up here and lie? First of all, I knew that Tank was still fighting 130s and everybody was sitting around here naming Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, and what's the other guy's name? William Zepeda, and the other people, Baranchik. Like, let's be real. These people haven't named, the people who have been talking about Tank Davis for the last 5 years, they haven't got not one Tank Davis fight prediction right as far as who he's fighting next. You know what I'm saying? They haven't got not one prediction about who Tank's fighting next. Every time I hear Tank Davis' name be mentioned, it's with Lomachenko next. This person, the toughest fights he's been in is sparring matches. What am I gonna talk about when it comes to Tank right now? The toughest fights he's been in is a sparring match. That's the most popular fight he's been in. The fight was so popular that him and Devin Haney sparred each other, and people still want to see the fight. We got people that want to see the Tank Davis and Devin Haney fight so bad. They seen the sparring match for free, and they still want to see them guys fight again, even though they think Devin Haney lost to Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Come on, bro. You can't make this up. You think I'm up here just talking? I know what's going on out here. We got people out here breaking their neck to go see Devin Haney fight Ryan Garcia again after they said he got obliterated. I know what boxing fans I'm talking to. You think I'm up here just talking? You said, come on, man. You said you don't want to fight? Come on. I guess you excited to see Ryan Garcia fight Rolly Romero. Ethan, I would believe you if you were excited to see. I haven't heard you say anything about, I haven't heard anybody say anything about Ryan Garcia versus Rolly. Have y'all seen anybody say, woo, I can't wait to see Rolly versus Ryan? I haven't heard not one person tonight say they happy to see Ryan versus Rolly. Let's not act like let's not act like he the star of the show now. If Tank was fighting Rolly again, we would have heard about it tonight. Nobody's interested in watching Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. If Tank was fighting Rolly, we would have heard about it already, bro. When they announced Tank versus Rolly, we already heard about it. Pitbull, same thing. Ryan ain't the star of the show, bro. Enjoy them Haney fights for the next 5 to 10 years, but everybody know Ryan ain't the star of the show, dog. Let's just keep it a buck. Ryan got to get somebody darker next time. He got to get somebody with some, I guess like his dad said, some nappy hair. But Rolly hair ain't nappy enough. That ain't gonna work. I ain't want to call Ryan out like that, but that's his star power right there, bro. I know everybody be saying he sell pay-per-views, he got this many followers. Ain't nobody say, I haven't seen anybody say in the chat, hey, I'm ready to see that Rolly versus Ryan. I know people think Haney this and that. That's cool. I have no problem with that. Ryan's not the star of the show, bro. He gonna need a lot of, to be honest with you, he gonna need a lot of Ryan and Tank and Haney fights to complete his career. But you know, he's over with. He's over with. He's not a star like everybody's saying he is. Look at Tiafimo right now. You know, everybody else got a fight lined up. Tiafimo running around like, oh, they ducking. Like, bro, don't you realize everybody got a fight right now? He's literally at the school dance and has nobody to dance with. He's just walking around. So 2025, bro, I mean, it ain't, I understand what y'all saying. You know, I agree with most of this stuff, but you know, time ticking right now. It's gonna be a wrap in a minute. Everything we arguing about, everybody been arguing about, it's gonna be over. The only thing people gonna be arguing about now is who Tank gonna fight and why they ain't fighting. That's it. Other than that, you can't even argue about Canelo fighting no more. He said Tank is yeah, that's my point, Ethan. Shoot, it's time to move up. Cause that's what I'm saying. That's what the whole live is about. Look, the live is about right now we got Keyshawn finna be a 135 champion. What is Tank Davis gonna do? That's not the same. Right now we asking Keyshawn to fight somebody we asked Tank to fight. So if Tank ain't gonna be unified at 135, well, Keyshawn got a chance to do it. He over there with Lomachenko. That's 2 belts. Shakur Stevenson could just say, hey, forget this belt, I'm moving up. That's 3 belts. What Tank gonna do? So really, everybody asking Keyshawn to do what they want Tank to do. They like, Tank, you'll fight Baranchik? No, I'm fighting Lamont Roach. Well, Keyshawn, will you fight him? Yeah, I'm gonna fight him next. I mean, we gotta realize Keyshawn going straight into fights. This man was just in the Olympics not too long ago. Oh yeah, I definitely got money on Tank. But these is guys that Tank done sparred already though. You got young guys that sparring you, chasing after you. Yeah. Lamont Roach, man, I hope Lamont Roach just go 12 rounds, man. I just need Lamont Roach to go 12 rounds, bro. That's it. That's it. I don't care if he get dropped. I just need Lamont Roach to go 12. Can he do it? Yeah, he can do it. I just need him to go 12 though. He said Ryan versus Rolly is the main event and Devin is fighting on the undercard. So who's the real star? Yeah, I understand what you're saying as far as that. Fighting on the undercard and everything else, but come on now, let's be real. We already know what time it is. You gotta think about it. Ryan, right now, Ryan's, I don't know if you've seen my live recently, but Ryan is a 147 fighting 140s at a catchweight. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really helping himself as far as his situation. He's a 47 that's not good enough to fight at 47. So he drains himself a little bit more so he can make 44 and bring a guy up halfway. So when he makes a fight, he telling people, hey, could you meet me halfway? I'm at 47, but I'm trying to fight at 44. So this how he got to start every negotiation when he fight with somebody. Could you meet me halfway at 44? Do you give Lamont a good chance to beat Tank though or nah? Yeah, I give Lamont Roach a good chance. Yeah, I give Lamont Roach a good chance. I think Lamont Roach got a good chance. As long as he don't get caught with nothing, I think he's straight. Do I think he gets knocked out? Yeah. I think he possibly gets knocked out. But I give him a good chance though. Like if we had to pick a random guy to fight Tank, this is probably the best one you can find because he is a guy who fought him before. Lamont Roach is younger. So when Lamont Roach did have his loss, he was still a young guy. And as we seen with, I ain't trying to be extreme or nothing, but as we seen with Daniel Dubois recently, you can still get better in your 20s after taking a loss. And Daniel Dubois had just took a loss, a year ago to Usyk, a year and a half ago, before he started going on his little run. So you can definitely pull something off, but you say I want to see Keyshawn develop. Yeah, he gonna be at 35, but I don't know what 35 gonna do, to be honest with you. Even if Keyshawn don't fight and Andy Cruz, it's so many names at 35 at this point. You know, they still got, I guess, Frank Martin going to 40. Still got a lot of names at 35. You know, every day it's another guy moving up to 140. I told people it wasn't going to be a lot of people stuck at that division. After Ryan and Teofimo, all these guys started to move up. He said, nah, I ain't tripping about that either. He said, you talking about fight the monster. No, I ain't say that. You talking about anyway? No, I ain't say that. I ain't say that. I said if anyway good with it, I'm good with anyway doing that. I mean, if anyway feel like he can do it, he can do it. If I was anyway, I would have told him 130. Sure, I think anyway an inch taller than Tank too. I would have told him 130. Yeah, Tank was saying something like, I'll fight him then. I don't want to fight him. Something like that. I'm like, yeah, you'll fight him. I think that's the only reason why he's still around 130. I'm telling you. Anyway, get close to 126, he gonna be making some moves. Yeah, I want to see De Los Santos in the ring with a lot of those guys. I knew it was gonna be a bad style matchup with Shakur Stevenson, but I want to see De Los Santos in the ring with a lot of those guys. De Los Santos said right now he's fighting at 135 and 140. So De Los Santos' next fight might be 140. He was gonna fight a guy that was supposed to be in March. Then they started talking about Frank Martin. Now I'm not hearing anything, so the Frank Martin thing might not happen. They might just keep De Los Santos at 35. So the way they moving right now, I don't know, man. He said, "What you think of Tito Machado? I seen him fight recently, pretty good. Yeah, he reminds me of how do I explain this? He reminds me a little bit of Rolly and Teofimo a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense, but he reminds me of Rolly and Teofimo. I like the fact that he don't be trying to go out there knocking out everybody. every round. He don't try to load up on his punches. Still got to see more of him. From what I've seen, he the real deal. I will rate him right now higher than Teofimo. That might sound crazy to people, but just from what I've seen, I know everybody. I'm not really tripping over the win this weekend, but just from what I've seen, I will rate him higher. Just because of how much he believe in what he actually doing, like what he's doing in the ring, his ability. I know that might sound crazy, but I like Teofimo. I'm just the way Tito was boxing. He's doing similar things, but he's just more aggressive. Yeah, anyway, super bantamweight. Yeah, 140, but I don't know how much of a threat he is. I don't know if he can go out there and still mess with a Matias or something like that, or Liam Paro. If I was Tito, I'd be trying to ask for a Liam Paro fight. But Liam Paro ain't an easy fight though. With pillows so you fall asleep. He said a mattress firm. I ain't gonna lie, man. One of those fights I did fall asleep on. Man, I fell asleep on one of his fights so bad. I'm not even gonna lie. But it wasn't because of his style though. It was just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just get tired when his fights come on. Be real with you. Cause usually he fighting around a time where there's a lot of fights going on. Then his cards usually be long, got a decent undercard, so. Yeah, I done definitely fell asleep though. He said Keyshawn was still not ready to do what Tank did. We gonna see, man. Right now, he doing a good job though. I ain't putting no pressure on him. I ain't putting no pressure on him right now. Right now, to be honest with y'all, right now, and this is just to be honest, I'm not really putting pressure on fighters this year. It's gonna be so obvious what some of these guys duck. I'm talking about dudes gonna have to fight in a whole nother division. You know what I'm saying? Whether anybody believes that a fan or anybody says that Tank's ducking or not, maybe they got a plan going on. But what I do know is to go to a whole nother division to get a fighter, it's a red flag. And Tank and Canelo is doing that. You know. But what I've seen in common right now is people don't have a big problem with Canelo not having any other options. They're not saying, no, don't fight Terrence Crawford and fight this guy. They just saying, no, don't fight Terrence Crawford. I'm like, well, who? Well, who we want to see him fight? Nobody else, but just don't fight Crawford. Oh, that's not good enough then. That's not good. What about Tank and Roach? Who y'all want to see Tank fight next? You know, it's getting extreme now, bro. Like, when you're to the point where you got to sit up here and say, everybody's ducking so-and-so, like, bro, it's extreme. When you got to sit up here and say 10 fighters is ducking one fighter, that's when it's bad. You either getting blackballed. You think Ryan gonna lose the next fight? I don't know why I keep thinking that too. Hey, you think Ryan gonna lose the next fight? But what Chris said, I was reading what Chris said earlier. He said T.O. hasn't looked that impressive lately. It seems like he fights down his level of competition. Yeah, I said that recently too. Like he needs like a big challenge in order to get the best version of himself. Yeah, he had a lot of outside stuff going on. I think I knew he was getting divorced before everybody did. That was a while ago. But he was having a lot of trouble on it, personal things going on. But Teofimo, he just, how do I say this? He said it recently, bro. Like, he came out and said it. I don't understand the guy. Sometimes he'll just cap about something, but then he'll come out and tell the complete truth. Like, when he's honest, bro, he goes to a whole nother level of being honest. But when he said recently about having PTSD about the Kambosos fight, this dude literally said he got PTSD from fighting Kambosos. And the weird part about it is he said it like a week after I said it. He said he got PTSD from that fight. So if you notice, I'm just saying, it only takes 5 minutes. Just go back and turn on the highlights of Teofimo Lopez. Since that Kambosos fight, he ain't really throwing no jab, bro. And he can't get no knockouts like that. He's not a person who throws hooks like a Mexican fighter. He trying to throw hooks and get his knockout like that. But he don't even throw the jab no more. Just go back and look at it. It's pathetic. If you just stare at Teofimo and look at him try to throw a jab, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's to the point now where he'll throw it out like 8 times. They go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like he's doing an exercise or something. Like, bro, this is a real fight. You can't throw a jab like that. You're going to get your head knocked off. So if you go back and look at that Jermaine Ortiz fight, he was trying to jab Jermaine Ortiz and he was standing there like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Then his dad came out before that talking about some, yeah, we having trouble with the jab. So they know what time it is. This dude's struggling. He can't get a knockout. His knockouts usually come from him throwing the jab. So when Kambosos kept counterpunching him, boom, boom. Every time he try to do something, he get counterpunched. Boom. So ever since that fight, he been kind of struggling, just fighting off of just skill and talent. Ain't no game plan or nothing going into none of his fights. So all the stuff y'all been seeing is just strictly off of just talent. That's it. He ain't got no game plan. He ain't really trusting nothing. That's why he got to fight with Canelo right now. So he's in a bad spot. He's definitely in a bad spot. And this other stuff he has going on, it's not helping. But he just don't throw the jab no more. That's why he can't get a knockout. No matter what he does, until he start jabbing, he's not going to get a knockout. The way he boxes, if you look at all his knockouts he's had, he's always setting up with a jab. And now he's trying to fight like he's Canelo or something. And it just doesn't work. He's known as a guy who fights like with American style. He don't fight Mexican style. So for him to be fighting like how a Triple G or Canelo would fight, and Canelo doesn't even fight that way as much these days. But yeah, that's a huge setback for him. I think that's the worst thing that happened to him. That's why certain guys, they don't match up people with certain guys, because once you get in the ring with them, it's over. Kambosos changed everything about him. But if you notice that in most of his fights, he don't throw a jab. So everything is just punch for punch. This guy throw a hook, I throw a hook. Steve Claggett, him and Steve Claggett was going punch for punch. He says Tank, I think Tank gonna get it done, man. Tank right now, whatever plans they do have with Tank, I don't know. It seemed like, okay, they had Lamont Roach on their mind as far as an opponent, but 2 years later though, and you still thinking about fighting Lamont Roach? I'm like, come on now. We got to see what the writing on the wall really is. Bro, you can't wait 2 years to fight Lamont Roach. That's why I always said that Hector Garcia fight, I was like, bro, I always said that. I don't like watching that fight because it was in D.C. So that doesn't make any sense for them to fight Hector Garcia in D.C. You could have fought Tevin Farmer or somebody. from the East Coast. I'm like, that don't even make any sense. It don't look right. Gary Russell or somebody could have fought. It just don't look right. And as you seen from the result of the fight, it wasn't a good choice. The man said he couldn't see and stuff like that. He's not even supposed to be in the ring with Tank. That's why when people get mad about certain fans saying, hey, man, why he fighting this guy? I want Tank to fight a guy who's not going to say that his eyes is not working and he can't see. You know what I'm saying? I know Eastside Cruz fought him when he had an injury or whatever, but he made it look better than that. We at the point now. So Tank gonna fight in March. And I predict that he'll probably fight, one more time, possibly? Which is gonna be a Hail Mary. He gonna possibly fight one more time in 2025 before his birthday? So that means he gonna be 31? And we still gonna be talking about him fighting guys who ain't the best of their division? That's insane. To be real, that's insane. That's why I'm saying right now, Keyshawn might be the way to go right now. From what I'm seeing, the media asking him a lot of questions about him fighting Tank. So they know he ready to go. They like, hey, what you feel about Tank Davis? Now he talking about him and Tank sparring before. See, Keyshawn could have been clout chasing if he really wanted to. I'm not playing no sides. I'm not being real. But he could have been clout chasing and saying, hey, I sparred Tank already. Why he ain't tell y'all about that? Keyshawn could have been like, hey, man, why Tank ain't tell y'all about our sparring session? He tell everybody else about their sparring session. Why he ain't talk about ours? Just strange Tank ain't never brought that up. That's just strange. You know, things always lead back to sparring. Look at the Frank Martin thing. That always led back to sparring. Look at Devin Haney. That always leads back to sparring. Him and Shakur got history sparring. So it always seems like the extra frustration comes back from sparring history and stuff like that. Like guys he's actually been in the ring with. Exactly. We see Elijah Pierce in the ring with him. Look how he was acting with that sparring match. Telling you, everybody he sparred with, he lash out at. So the guys that he been sparring, it's something that be going on. We done seen one of the videos. Well, I seen two of them. I seen the one with Shakur Stevenson and Tank, and I seen the Devin Haney and Tank one. But it went exactly like I said it would. That's why I'm gonna be honest with you too. If you want to like look at something interesting, I can be out here right now saying, you know what? Let me tell y'all, if I was real petty, you know what I could be saying right now? I could say Ryan Garcia did a better job than Tank Davis did against Devin Haney. If I was petty. I could say Ryan had more power against Haney than Tank did. I didn't see it. Have anybody seen Tank drop Haney before? In a fight? You know, people be bringing up Haney name all the time. This question never come up. Have anybody ever seen Tank Davis drop Devin Haney? No, you haven't. So does that mean that Ryan Garcia has more power than Tank Davis? You know, because, you know, a lot of people feel like that's a win for a lot of other people. A lot of people feel like that's a win for Tank that Ryan Garcia had that kind of performance against Devin Haney, but it's really not, because we have video of Tank fighting Ryan Garcia. We have video of Tank fighting Devin Haney. Then we have video of Ryan Garcia fighting Devin Haney. Guess who had the best performance out of all three of those guys? Tank did, but guess who had the worst performance out of all those guys? Ryan did. But guess who had the best win? Ryan did. Guess who fought Haney better? Ryan did. So technically, if somebody was to come out and right now and say, well, Tank beat Ryan, okay, so what? Ryan did better against Haney. So whatever Tank did don't mean nothing. I could be petty like that. And I'm not, that's not a narrative I'm pushing, that's facts. We can all agree that's facts. So the fact that Tank would actually push so hard and actually make that victory official in his mind, like, oh, well, you know, Haney did get whooped. That don't help you out, brother. That was the best win you had. Was a Haney sparring match and a Ryan Garcia win. Now it ain't good no more. Now people don't really claim the sparring win. They don't feel like that's a win. They won't say it. And now Ryan took your thunder. Now everybody remember Ryan for beating Haney in a no contest. And they don't remember Tank for doing anything versus Ryan Garcia. A lot of people don't even remember Ryan getting stopped and quitting. They don't remember that. So the one thing he did do on his resume that was good, and then to be honest with you, Tank bringing attention to the sparring match with him and Haney over the years was even worse, because you brought him more attention, you promoted him and made him bigger. And that's the only rival that people really look at that's associated with you. So now your name's attached to a guy who's not even in the same division as you anymore. And he accomplished more than you did in the same division. And guess what? Ryan looked better against him. The best win you had. You see how they messed it up for him? That was the best win the man had. That's why I'm saying Keyshawn might just step in and yeah, he said, Mimi said, yeah, Ryan messed up. Yeah, Ryan had the best one right there. He messed it up. Messed it all up. But Tank don't realize, one thing I know about Ryan, though, that everybody else don't know, Ryan gonna stay active, though. Ryan's gonna keep fighting. Ryan's gonna keep fighting. So if we go by for another year or two and people are saying, hey, they go Ryan Garcia, that's the guy who we feel like beat Devin Haney, that's not gonna help Tank. Yeah, I feel like he got the passion going on for the sport. I feel like he got the passion. But you gotta, when you want a fight to happen, when you want to make a fight, you make a fight. You make a fight happen. You make a fight happen. One thing what people don't realize about Canelo is, I never had a problem. I always knew Canelo was going to eventually go to Turkey on the sheet. I didn't understand why everybody else didn't like Canelo associate himself with Turkey on the sheet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, even though Tank and Canelo move the same way, they make the same kind of choices, You can't really compare those two because by the time Canelo was the age Tank is, he was already doing more. So Tank is very behind when it comes to that. And Tank has guys right now that's younger than him, like Keyshawn Davis, doing the same thing he's doing. I don't think Keyshawn Davis is the greatest talent of all time right now, but shoot, he's a good enough talent to the point where a lot of people feel like he can go down and fight all the guys Tank did. A lot of people feel like Keyshawn can go right now and fight all the guys that's on Tank resume. They have about the same result or close. That's just the only thing I'm looking at as far as Tank. It's like, you got to understand that when other fighters start fighting people that your fans want to see people fight, you're going to start to lose people. And if you look at boxing, it's always a life expectancy on boxing. The only reason Mike Tyson was super popular for a long time because he wasn't active that whole time. He got locked up in between and everything else. But if Mike Tyson had to do just 10 years straight without no trouble, where he had to take a break in between, he wouldn't have been able to have that stardom throughout his whole career. It's hard to be a top fighter your whole career, to be looked at as that guy. The same way Roy Jones, they replaced Roy Jones, they replaced Oscar De La Hoya, they replaced Floyd. Everybody get replaced. It's just a life expectancy on Tank, because it's like, brother, you got a lot of fighters. Like, if we can count right now, we could probably count at least 10 people who want to see Tank fight. And that's being picky. If I said right now, hey, would y'all want to see Haney, Ryan Garcia again, Keyshawn, maybe a Andy Cruz, a Shakur, De Los Santos, all these guys, you'd be like, yeah. Like, look how many names. He said, why Turkey? Nah, Turkey don't want to make the fight. I told you, it's a lot of Mexican people that want to see the fight, man. It's a lot of Mexicans that want to see Crawford fight. They want to see him fight Crawford or Benavidez. Canelo fight for Mexico. This is what Mexico asking him to do. That's the only thing that's going on right now. That's the only thing that's going on. Canelo got to go home at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure he gonna want to bury his family in the country that he grew up in, so he got to go back to that place one day. So with him picking these fights, it's way above what we think right now. At this time right now, it's between him and his people who he fight for. He said he fight for Mexico. They asking for one thing right now. They want to see him fight Crawford, and they asked for Benavidez. They wanted to see him fight Crawford and Benavidez. A lot of people saying maybe, but right now I'm hearing a lot of people saying he need to fight Benavidez and Crawford. That's why you hear Canelo saying right now it's a possibility of me still fighting Benavidez. And I don't know if I told y'all that, but I'll put that out later. But that's why he's starting to discuss it, because in Mexico right now, a lot of people feel like he's trying to get out of the discussion of Benavidez by fighting Crawford. Yeah, Pitbull rematch. And then another thing about the Pitbull rematch that was weird. Pitbull talking about Ryan Garcia, and I don't know if it was turkey out of sheep. Maybe turkey out of sheep was just clean cut and dry about it, but he was saying they couldn't wait a week and a half for him to figure out if he gonna win this fight with old boy. He could have just said, "Yeah, I'm a sign for the fight," but I don't know if he got any other questions as far as negotiation. But he said they couldn't wait a week and a half to set up the fight with Ryan Garcia. He still want to fight him. I don't understand what's going on. I kind of understand that he don't want to have no bad luck and be trying to, because the dude Pitbull fighting this weekend, he ain't no, bro, trust me. Don't be surprised he go the distance. This guy ain't no bum. But he ain't trying to overlook the dude, so I'm like, I don't know. He said he chooses his opponent, he gonna lose. Nah, he ain't gonna lose. He ain't gonna lose. Crawford, it's gonna be hard for Crawford. I mean, I'm going for Crawford, but bro, it's a long shot. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo ain't no joke. Fight somebody the same size as him or smaller, he's no joke, man. Canelo is a problem. I heard a Mexican legend. I want to say it was Marcos Barrera or somebody. He just said he think Benavidez is a 168. He said he ain't got to fight Benavidez. He ain't got to fight Canelo or nothing, but he was like, I just feel like he a 168 though. And I was looking at Benavidez today. I was like, I don't know. I know he a 175, but I don't know. It just be looking weird, man. He didn't look as big today. I know he still got to make weight and everything, but just doesn't seem as big. Someone keeps telling me that Canelo fight isn't that big of a weight difference if you really look at it. Especially when I seen Berlanga in the ring with Canelo. Berlanga was huge against Canelo. He was huge. But yeah, Canelo has pressure on him right now. It's not any pressure that the fans or media are gonna put on him, but yeah, Mexico is full steam ahead right now. They and then the big the other pressure is they got that one guy, the Mexican fighter, the Olympian, Marcos Verde. He just signed with Canelo's team, his promotion team, and Eddie Reynoso. So they finna replace Canelo. Sad to say it, but he finna get replaced. They done found his replacement already. I don't know if it's a coincidence that he signed or he's looking to fight Crawford right after they found his replacement, but it's a lot of pressure on him. Well, I might make a video about that. That's something different. Well, I don't know if anybody knows it, but I'll just throw this out here. If anybody's still on here. Right now, if you look up the Olympian, Marcos Verde, I think he announced today that he was gonna go pro. I'm not too sure. I know it leaked out a couple of weeks ago that I said he was gonna go pro, but Munguia joined? Just a rumor. Sounds about right though. That doesn't sound bad. Maybe just a rumor, but what we at? We in March. Man, we in February. Got March to go, April. I don't know. Sounds about right. Sounds like a good rumor right there. I don't think that's just a rumor. But yeah, I didn't think about it till just now, but that's Canelo's replacement, bro. You know, I don't try to look at everything negative, but it's gonna sound negative when I start pointing this out, but that's his replacement. That's literally his replacement. They literally like moving on as far as we ain't finna ask him for no more fight. We just gonna push this guy. Oh, 2 YouTube channels. I don't know. Sometimes they be right, man. I know I seen some guys that had put out the news about Rayo and De Los Santos last year. The fight never happened, but it was right. They was right though. They was right. The fight was gonna happen. Sometimes these guys be right on YouTube. That's why I'm saying, like, the AI channels, they really messing up everything, cause you know, these days you hear something on YouTube, it's a real story. You know, it's not a lot of times you see a lot of clickbait or fake news these days. That's a good thing about YouTube. It's sad that YouTube got more real stories than TikTok, or not TikTok, but Twitter. Yeah, sources, yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen to me before too though. I done had to come on here and say some stuff like, I think I might have been, I don't want to sound like I'm just, uh, I know everything. But I had to be like one of the first people that announced that Canelo and Crawford fight. I seen somebody saying, what I seen somebody saying September in Vegas. I'm like, bro, what? September in Vegas? I think I announced this in like in December sometime, like before Christmas, I think. You talking about Yo Ennis? Yo Ennis or Yo Elvis? If that's Yo Ennis, don't he fight? Talking about Yo Ennis? I think they got another Cuban fight on their team. What's up with all these Cuban guys on Canelo team? He had a young guy that was like from Dominican Republic or Cuba. I don't think it was Puerto Rico. Probably was. I gotta see him again. There's so many guys with that name right now in boxing, bro. Let's start with a Y-O-E. Oh my God. It gotta be like 7 to 8 of those guys. And they all active too. I gotta see what he look like. There's so many people with that name. I like the fighters that Canelo getting right now. His team looks pretty sharp right now, man. I was kind of disappointed when I seen Andy Ruiz and Ryan Garcia leave. I wanted to see what they were gonna do. But Canelo was saying, man, those guys are lazy. Yeah, which is good. Canelo's always tried to do that. He's focusing on it a lot more now. You know, he likes breaking those young guys in. I think that's something he's probably seen Floyd do over the years. You know, a lot of these guys, they naturally do it. Canelo got a big family, so he moved the same way he do as far as in boxing that he do with his family. I seen him and his brother. Yeah, that was kind of cool, man. Canelo a real one. I seen him and his brother got him a commercial, opening up a restaurant with him. Yeah, I definitely respect Canelo for doing that. A lot of these guys, they be having more money than Canelo. They can't get along with their brothers. So Canelo, he definitely a role model in the sport, except for all that pet stuff he did. Other than that, he been putting in real work. Yeah, Canelo's moving right now. Yeah, he's the guy right now. I thought Tank was gonna catch up to him last year. Bruh, I would be a fool to think that Tank is on the same level as Canelo right now. I'll be honest with you. The thing that's helping him right now, I'm not gonna lie, the thing that's helping him is like the mystique, him not being around the awards. You know, it's almost like Tupac getting out of jail and stuff. You know, with him not being around and stuff, it's helping build the anticipation. But it's not helping his career though. That's why I'm looking at Inouye too. I'm looking at Inouye the same way. I'm like, bro, y'all taking a year off. If you think that Canelo gonna jump in the ring with Crawford, and we finna look at y'all as being on the same level as him, nah, that ain't gonna work. That's what I'm saying. These guys, the age they at now, Canelo was already fighting Triple G, moving up to fight Triple G already. So he's in an older part of his career, still taking tougher fights. Camaro Mo is impossible. Yeah, he gonna be a star. But the thing about it is, he got a lot of competition around him, and I like him, but he's starting to remind me of Tank a little too much. Not as far as like his personality or nothing. Just it reminds me of Tank a lot. Like I know people were saying that at first. I'm like, reminds me of Tank though. Can't even lie. Definitely think he's gonna be a star. He's gonna have a tougher road though. The reason why he's gonna have a tougher road is because the divisions that Tank is in and that he's not really active in, or the talent around the division Tank's in, that's where Camille Moten is fighting around. So all the traffic that Tank don't fight, he gonna have to end up running into it. You know what I'm saying? So if Tank don't fight, let's just say Tank don't fight nobody and he just retires and whatever. I mean, in 2 years, 3 years, people will probably say, hey, Camille Moten, you close to Keyshawn Davis's weight class, or Abdullah Mason. These guys, they're going to start naming him with other guys. They got real talent. So I think he is going to be a star. I'm not going to rush him, though, because once he starts fighting, it's going to get dangerous real quick, especially with top competition. And it's a lot of talent coming out every day. I'm supposed to do a live stream. I'm going to do it in the morning. You know what? I'm going to do it in the morning. I kept saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in the morning, though. I'm supposed to do a live stream on these prospects. I was actually going to do it for 2024, but most of these people are still prospects, so I'm going to do it for 2025. But it's a lot of prospects around Camille Moten that, can fight. It's a lot of guys that can fight, man. A lot of them. I'm talking about, I go on TikTok, I'm seeing people 13, 16 that got hands. I already got a nice jab. I'm like, yeah, it's hard to remember all the names, bro. Oh my God. I had to sit up here and take a picture of some of the names. Oh yeah, Cubans. To be honest with you, I don't look at Cubans as prospects unless they like hopping at a high weight class, like Morrell was at 75 or whatever, but I don't look at those guys as prospects. Cubans, it's just too advanced. Unless but recently they need some time to develop a little bit because they all fight like amateurs coming in. And once they get patient like Lara, that's when they get dangerous. Like in Glaciers, like what he doing right now. Yeah, I like when they start to slow down and pace themselves. That's when they get dangerous. They definitely get dangerous then. That's why the Lara Canelo fight, not the same guys he is right now. Definitely not the same guy. But yeah, I think Carmel Monk he gonna be good. All these guys got to worry about that weight though, man. All of them. That's why Tank's so dangerous now. Once Tank start focusing on that weight, man, all that stuff went away, man. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Tank used to knock out these middleweights and stuff because he was, he was carrying a little bit of weight, but he's putting these guys up out of there though. And then he's dropping the weight back down and he's still disciplined. A lot of people don't know, but that's actually like that's a good thing when it comes to sports like this, where you can blow up and lose weight real quick and easy. That's why with Adrian Bronner not being able to take advantage of it, he'll fight a weight class or two over what he's supposed to be at. Adrian Bronner really supposed to be like a 35 or 140. But for him to be fighting at 47 and stuff, he putting himself in a bad spot. He's supposed to be fighting guys like Regis Prograis. You say he beat Morrell in amateurs. Yeah, I keep forgetting that he beat Morrell in the amateurs. You know what's crazy, Mimic? We was talking about that. We was talking about that in August, like August, September, after that Majramal fight. The one Morrell was on. You know what? I keep forgetting that, bro. I don't even think about that. That's how I don't really be hating on Morrell like that. I don't even be caring that he lost the Ingleses in amateurs. But that is a big deal though. Because those guys fight everybody in the amateurs. But I don't even be thinking about it though. Yeah, definitely are entertaining. I ain't gonna lie. It's entertaining. I think he gonna be a lot more serious against Ryan though. I don't think he gonna joke too much with Ryan. Cause he don't want Ryan to do that crazy stuff. Him and Ryan's, like the build up to him and Ryan, I hope they do a lot of like film and like a show like they did with Morrell and Benavidez, like a part 1, part 2. Cause we definitely need to see what Ryan Garcia's mindset is going into this fight. Yeah, them 2 losses ain't nothing. Them 2 losses, like the dude don't lose, man. Them 2 losses ain't nothing. I rarely pick against Cuban fighters when it comes to certain guys. I just rarely do. I think the only times is probably like when this weekend, I think Ortiz against Ruiz and Wilder, and shoot, the other person was probably I think I picked William Skull to lose his recent fight. Got that one wrong. And what's crazy is he fought worse than what I thought he was gonna fight. And still won. Yeah, they should, man. If they're gonna push the fight right, it'll sell. That's why I was talking to y'all earlier about that fight. I'm like, hold on, that fight will sell when you think about it. That fight would actually sell. That's it. It's still 2 guys that Tank fought before. And you know what's crazy? Ryan lost money. He lost money betting on Rolly. And now he finna fight him. You gonna fight a guy you lost money on betting on. That's hilarious. A lot of people wanted that fight to happen last year though. He said he's stupid for trying to retire this year. A lot of these guys be saying that these days, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the last person who said that when it was actually true about retiring 6 features. What's going on? I'm trying to figure out the last guy who said that 6 features and actually did it. Most of these guys say it. I'm talking about all of them. Even the guy that lost to Matias. What's his name? Dang, I forgot his name. But he said he was retiring, then came back right after that. I was like, I don't know. Tank might hang it up though. You never know, man. You never know. He got a real plan. The crazy part is he got a real plan though. Like I didn't take him serious until I heard his plan. I was like, that's something I would do. No, that's something I would do. He's not impressed by Shakur, so he don't want to give him a payday. You know, him and Loma is not in the picture. Keyshawn, he said he looking better, but he's not really made his mind up on that. And then he's like, Pitbull, don't call me until I'm ready. And then Ryan Garcia, he like, yeah, I'm finna knock you out again for another payday. When he said that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's a good plan. No, this guy's serious. Yeah, Tank getting a bag out of that. You right though. Tank, hey, 6 features. That's crazy. You say it like that though. Tank is actually getting the bag out of it. He getting the bag out of it. You know, Ryan, if I was Ryan, I would actually milk it. But Tank getting the bag out the whole situation. He can't get that kind of money with somebody else right now. And then the fact that fans aren't really believing that he can. I'm hearing a lot of people say that he can't make that much money with Shakur or Devin. I'm like, well, even if he tried, that's not gonna help. So he needs Ryan. And one thing I like about the Ryan and Tank situation is Tank's gonna have to fight Ryan in a certain weight class without the little weight adjustment thing. So that's gonna be hard. I think that's the only reason he haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. The fact that I seen a video of him talking about what weight he was gonna fight Ryan at, he was like, let's fight at 140. He said, I can't do 44. I'm thinking, man, this video must have came out yesterday. Man, this video was like 9 months ago. I'm like, what? This dude was talking like this after the Ryan and Devin Haney fight ended. Oh man. So he trying to get a bag off that fight bad. He's dead serious. I'm talking about he knows what weight class Ryan at. And then guess what? A whole year later, they talking about Ryan at 144. So Tank already know everything already. He know what weight class Ryan at, what he ate, how long he gonna sleep. He keeping up with everything. So we know what fight he want right now. But I think Ryan gonna stall him out though. I think Ryan really gonna stall him out. The fact that Tank reached out to, what's his name, Conor Ben. If you notice, ever since he reached out to Conor Ben, Ryan kind of chilled out on the whole fight. He's like, oh, okay. Okay. Tank talking about a 147 fight. He's like, okay. So I still got some time. See, Ryan still got time to make the fight with Tank. The fact that he knows Tank reached out to Conor Ben for a 47 fight, he already knows I can chill out. I can drag this on. I can drag this on. Because no matter what happens with the Ryan and Haney fight, Ryan can always come back and get that fight with Tank because of the whole being weight drain thing. So that's gonna help out his whole case right there. So I definitely see that fight being towards the end. But if Ryan Garcia looks, let's just say if he looks shaky his next fight, or if his weight is starting to balloon up, if he has some weight issues in the next fight, I would definitely look at him fighting at 2025 against Tank. Because Ryan, he want to have the fight as well too. I'm pretty sure he wants to fight Tank again at full strength. The fact that he complains a lot about that, if you notice too, since he fought Tank, his weight has been all over the place. Him, Rolly, Pitbull, he moved up on his own. But him and Rolly, their weight is all over the place. And then Rayo's got comfortable at 140, so I don't see him moving back down to 135. A lot of these fights are, you know, they moving up to a higher weight class. People don't notice it, but a lot of these guys are moving up little by little. You know, Rayo and Rolly, not Rolly, but Pitbull fighting at 140 had a lot to do with Tank. Ain't that crazy? So part of the reason why Rolly and Rayo, so if Pitbull would have fought Tank at 35, you'll still have Rayo and Pitbull at 135. But because Tank ain't fighting them two, they now both at 140. So this man is kicking out opponents without even knowing it. He's getting rid of options. And then Rayo is not trying to come back down and weight. Said it already. He's like, no, I'm not moving back down. You know, it's the same thing kind of what Canelo asked Munguia to do, wait on me to fight. But he's like, no, I can't do it. So yeah, right now, I would say in that situation, Ryan calling the shots. He definitely calling the shots. And you know, like I said recently, oh yeah, they will. Most of these guys, they gonna fight each other. They will. I have no question that Tank possibly could fight these guys. My only thing is what Tank is. This ain't about Tank ducking or nothing like that. This is more so is, are you gonna be at your best when you fight these guys? Because we technically don't know what age these guys are gonna be at their best. You know what I'm saying? Like the Floyd we seen against Ricky Hatton and Pacquiao, that wasn't the same Floyd we seen against other guys. You know, like Arturo Gatti or even De La Hoya, who was a heavy guy. So, you know, and Tank, he don't, as we can see, Tank, Floyd, he don't smoke and drink. So he's a different kind of guy. Floyd is a guy who, you know, him and Pacquiao ain't partying like that. As far as I know, if you seen Pacquiao ain't getting lit like that. I done seen Canelo and Tank smoke and drink, but I ain't seen Pacquiao and Floyd doing that. So if these guys ain't taking care of their body like that, I don't expect Tank Davis to be at his all-time. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying as far as what he's doing, as far as the way he's cutting his weight and everything, I think he's looking good for 130. I mean, the age of 35 right now. But, you know, it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. He's still blowing up in between fights. I'm telling you, I had a picture, bro, I could have posted. I was like, man, I'm not finna post this. I'm not even finna post this picture. I'm like, man, me posting him this fat, it ain't gonna be a good thing at all. If I would have posted that picture, it would have got a lot of likes and clicks, but it wouldn't have been good, trust me. That's why when I was breaking up his weight early, I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. Dude had a beer belly hanging over his belt. Like that big. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even get in the hot dog eating contest and get that big. I'm talking about, how are you blowing up like this in between fights, though? I know how, because I done seen dudes do it before, but at the same time, I'm like, no way. But yeah, the Haney, T.O., Pitbull, Tank, Ryan. I think when Ryan and Tank fought each other, that's when the whole new generation of all this stuff started to happen. The only reason Tank's getting the pressure is because he's like the leader of the new school. So he's getting the pressure because now Benavidez is getting pressure. Haney is getting pressure. So, you know, like all the guys who's a little bit younger than Tank is getting pressure put on them. Like the weight of the sport, the whole weight of the whole sport is on them. Everybody's putting all the weight on Haney and Benavidez. So Tank is getting some of it. Ryan's getting some of it. Canelo and a lot of other people, Terrence Crawford, Spence, everybody's still getting the same type of criticism. It's just that a lot of people aren't as active, so they can't really do nothing about it. You got all these changes going on. I will give them time right now because, you know, it's a lot of changes going on. PBC is going from Amazon to... I knew that when they had the Tank Davis fight, the Amazon situation wasn't looking too good. Just because I heard about it. You know, anyway, he had fights on Amazon. I think him and the Fulton fight was on Amazon. It was only for Japan as far as the Amazon coverage, but they had already been working with Amazon prior to PBC, and I just didn't see any good things out of the situation, so just didn't work out. I think they're gonna move on eventually. Well, they already got a partnership with Riyadh season, but it's just a whole situation right now. Like every day it's gonna be another fighter. Like this year, 2025, it's gonna be more fighters coming in that's gonna try to replace Keyshawn Davis. You know, not just Tank Davis, but they trying to replace Keyshawn. They gonna try to have some guys to beat him. They gonna have some new guys to try to beat T.O. and Ryan. It's always gonna be a new guy. That's one thing I realized in boxing. It's always gonna be somebody new. But what are you gonna do when it's time to take out that same person who's trying to take you out? But one thing I will say though is Tank's fighting a guy that he knew he was gonna eventually fight. As far as that he had personally that he wanted to fight. And it just happened at this time right now. That's why I'm not really tripping. I'm kind of tripping because I'm like, man, look at the names y'all were naming. But I'm not tripping because, I mean, there's no other options right now. I mean, the options I went through, Andy Cruz' name is starting to get a buzz a little bit, but a lot of people don't think he's good enough for Tank. It's hard to find people that actually think that certain guys is good enough to fight Tank Davis. That's the hardest part about finding a fight for him. Because some of the best fights that could be for Tank, people don't like. Like, people hated the Eastside Cruz fight the first time around. That's when I knew then. I was like, it's going to be hard to find some fights for Tank. It really is. That Eastside Cruz fight, I was like, this is not a bad fight. I didn't know much about him, but I knew he came to fight the times I seen him. And then he did better than Rolly. I thought the Rolly fight was a mistake. That's when I first started questioning things. When I seen the Rolly fight, I was like, oh, man. As soon as I seen the Rolly fight, I said, man, it's going to be 2 or 3 years before we even see any type of fights, because people got to realize Haney them, they were still young. They were still prospects. He said, yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I just knew how long Rolly had been boxing at that time. And he wasn't boxing that long. Like Rolly, Frank Martin, those guys haven't boxed that long. They haven't been pro that long. Not pro, but they haven't been boxing, period, that long at all in their lives. That's the only reason I was questioning Mimic. No, I was a fan of Rolly before Tank fought him. Before anybody knew who Rolly was. I was a fan of. But I knew he was not a good skillful boxer. Like he needed time to develop. He was a guy Tank fought way too early. The level Tank was on, like, nah. Heck nah. It wasn't the same as like when T.O. fought Kambosos. You know, when T.O. fought Kambosos ain't get a lot of credit going into that fight. Yeah. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Yeah, I'm glad Tank fought Pitbull though. That's why I'm kind of glad when he does certain fights like that. I'm glad he fought Pitbull. You said the fastest hands at 135? I don't know. I would still have to say Loma. Loma one. I would say Loma one. I would say Tank number 2. And I'll probably put Shakur number 3. And then put Andy Cruz number 4. Keyshawn number 5. I want to say Tank, but I got Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko's throw combinations just a little bit faster than Tank. Yeah, and Lomachenko was a guy that I wanted Tank to always beat, man. I wanted Tank to beat Lomachenko before Tiafimo did. Because, you know, Tank wasn't known as a guy who can go out there and outbox somebody like Loma. And I always felt like, man, he can go out there and do it, but he needs to go out here at a young age. Like, when you see Tank fight when he was younger, he wasn't really thinking too much about certain things. He wasn't getting outboxed in a lot of rounds. But I think now he's setting up the knockout so much that he's like just going through the motions on some of these guys. Some of these guys ain't got no power either. So he's just going through the motions. I think Frank Martin had some power, but he turned into a boxer instead of a puncher. You know, he was just strictly just boxing when he could have been just boxer puncher, a little more aggressive. But yeah, I still think Loma got the fastest hands though. I'll say that. I like Baranchik though. He underrated. As far as his hands, like Keyshawn better watch out, man. Baranchik is an animal with them hands. He's probably one of the best I've seen when it comes to the hand speed. Like not knowing how fast somebody's hands is. I would say Baranchik. I'm not trying to forget nobody. I don't think Miritai is that fast, but he is fast. Yeah, I seen Baranchik recently. He got some sneaky speed. It's quick too. It's like 2 or 3 punches, but it's like boom, 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 boom. So I would think his powers. But yeah, Tank getting guys known though. I was saying that about Tank, like a lot of his, and that's the point I was making too, Mimic, a while ago, about why Tank possibly could come out right now and say he's a bigger name than Canelo. I know people wouldn't like me saying that, but the reason why I say he possibly could say that is because the guys he's fighting is getting so much attention after he fights them. Like every single person. Canelo, it's the same way with Canelo. I'm not gonna lie, it's the same way with Canelo. Cause Canelo, like Berlanga and Munguia, they basically became household names for just losing to Canelo. But if you just look at Pitbull, Rolly, with Ryan, and just a lot of people, especially when it comes to the boxing world. A lot of people in the boxing world wasn't really familiar with Ryan until he fought Tank. But you know, Ryan fighting Tank actually made people look at Ryan like a real boxer. So that's how much Tank has helped people when it comes to fighting guys. But has it helped the sport? I don't think so. I don't think it helped the sport because right now, that division is not really that strong right now. Yeah, Tank will make you famous. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But Canelo kind of, his effect is a little bit, yeah, Canelo affects you a little bit better though. Like once you fight Canelo, but you're not getting a payday fighting Tank though. That's what a lot of people been saying. Richard Riatfo, is he a cruiserweight? He supposed to be going up to heavyweight. Oh no, is he going to cruiserweight? I think he just went 75. No, Riatfo going to heavyweight, ain't he? What's up, 007? Oh, I didn't know that. It said a prospect he had up there on the picture. Is he a cruiserweight? I thought he was going to heavyweight. He's supposed to be going to heavyweight. He hasn't officially said it, but last time I checked, he said that he was going towards heavyweight. Yeah, they got Berlanga supposed to be fighting on March the 5th or 8th and something like that. He doesn't even have an opponent. So right now, Berlanga supposed to be fighting a week after Tank. And they still won't announce who his opponent's gonna be. So that's not gonna be a fight we're gonna be watching. You said the prospect he posted? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen prospect. I've been on here. I don't know who the guy is. I don't know where he. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Tommy Merlin. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about him tomorrow. Yeah, he in the gym with him. Bet. Yeah, he a problem. Yeah, Tommy Merlin. Yeah. That guy's a problem. Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, he posted him on his stories. Yeah, we'll talk about him tomorrow. You got a lot of prospects right now doing their thing in Boston. I think right now might be the deepest I've seen the prospects. He said, what you said? What did Paulie say about Tank? I heard Paulie. They said something about Paulie said, as far as Tank fans, you know, I don't. Let me read the specific quote. But they was talking about his fan base being a hip hop background or whatever. You know, like hip hop fans. You know how like these old, uh, you know how that like these old non-American guys say sometimes about certain fighters. Where is it at? Here it goes. He says, "You're killing the sport to line your pockets, and the people that run your business are killing the sport and lining your pockets. You don't need to manufacture a star. You don't need to put Gervonta Davis with the guy that pumps my gas just because you need to keep manufacturing a star continuously. Gervonta Davis is a very good fighter. I criticize the matchups, not because I don't like Gervonta Davis. Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but that doesn't mean you put him up in the next weight class against a bona fide pay-per-view star and make him the opponent. When I hear Gervonta Davis say he's going to retire, that's because you made your money, but what did you accomplish? You have a single Hall of Famer on your resume, and you're talking about retiring because you accomplished it all. That's crazy to me." Yeah, he was talking about his fans too. That's what made him mad. Yeah, probably be, man. I don't know, man. He be flip flopping sometimes. I mean, he tell it like he feel like he. I don't know. He keep it. He telling his truth, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I can't really tell him how he should feel, but I mean, what I don't like is I used to say the same thing about Loma. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to say the same thing about Loma. And these guys will sit up here and be like, well, like Loma, he Loma was I can possibly say Loma was worse. Bro, I'm telling y'all. And I'm not making no excuses. Trust me, I keeps it 1,000 about Tank. But it started when they started doing this stuff for Loma and Triple G and people like that. Like if you look at the resumes those guys have had, and you look at who Tank's fighting, the guys Tank's fighting, the guys who Tank's fighting, their resumes are good. When Pitbull finishes boxing, he's gonna have a good resume. Ryan's gonna have a good resume. Rolly's gonna have a good resume. So the guys who Tank's fighting, they're gonna have a good resume. So that's not a problem. But it's just that what probably don't realize is as the media, in the media, all you gotta do is have the standards the same for everybody. Just like right now, people saying, well, you know, and people thought I was tripping recently. That's why I don't talk about it no more. I was asking everybody on the internet last year, why are y'all not talking about, all right, I'm gonna holler at you later on, Mimic. Yeah, hopefully he get in there, man. Hopefully he gets in there. We definitely gonna be waiting in a month when he fight Roach. We definitely gonna be in the building. I can't wait till he fight Roach. I'm ready to see that fight. But what people gotta realize is a lot of these guys, they've been fighting people over the years, man. They've been getting away with little soft touch fights. And Loma and all these guys, they've been doing it. Look at the guys who Loma was fighting in between Gary Russell. He got a lot of credit for fighting Gary Russell. And then I turn around and say, well, I want to see Tank fight Gary Russell. Oh, that ain't no good fight. Who Gary Russell there fought? Bruh, Gary Russell helped get Loma on pound for pound. Like, what are we talking about? That's Loma's best win before the that's his best win. Lomachenko's best win is Gary Russell. So when people don't even understand, they've been killing their own argument for years. When they say, well, Loma's ducking Tank. Bruh, y'all put Loma on pound for pound after he beat Gary Russell. But then turn around and say Gary Russell ain't good enough to fight Tank and nobody else. Like, bro, y'all ain't been trying to make the fights. Tevin Farmer good enough to fight Williams and Zepeda, but he ain't good enough to fight Tank. Y'all been doing this. We've been saying this for years. You can go back on YouTube right now and type in Tevin Farmer and Tank Davis, and you're going to have videos that go back almost 10 years talking about these dudes fighting each other. But you finna have Williams and Zepeda fight Tevin Farmer twice. So that be a lot of times where we looking at it, we like, oh man, okay, what the world, what's going on? But they gotta understand this been going on though. And the hood gonna support regardless, but when they go left, we already know what time it is. I'm telling you. Once I seen, the reason why I don't get too upset about people who support Tank and everything is because once I seen Tank go 12 rounds with Eastside Cruz, and I went on Twitter and I seen what everybody said, I said, dang, bro, he ain't got no soldiers like they say he do. I know he from Baltimore, but when nobody stepping that night, I'm like, wow. He ain't got no soldiers out here. First of all, don't nobody know who he just fought. That's for one. So now for him to get the good graces from the fans, they gotta be like, well, I'm fighting the champion. And then you got fans like, well, Tank fighting the champion. Bro, I watch boxing. I talk about boxing every day. Why do I have people coming to me talking about Tank fighting the champion? Like I don't know this. Like he ain't supposed to be doing. That's his job. I mean, that's his job. He said Loma ducked both Tank and Shakur, but Tank definitely ducked Loma back in the day. Yeah, Tank could have made that. He could have made that happen with Loma. The fact that what I didn't like that Tank let Teofimo get that fight first. And Lomachenko called you out specifically. You know what I'm saying? He called him out specifically. Yeah, Pitbull was a replacement. That makes it worse. That Pitbull was a replacement. His replacement fight was tougher than the guys who was the main course. But once the Rolly fight happened, I was like, this ain't gonna work, man. And if you look from the Rolly fight till now, you know, it's just bad calories, bro. He's not giving none. Yeah, people be switching up on the boxers hard, bro. Yeah, people be switching up, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I like Tank, Shakur, Devin, all those guys the same. You know, I like most boxers the same. It just sometimes I might have to lean towards the right a little bit because, you know, sometimes these narratives be so biased, I gotta play devil's advocate, which I don't like doing sometimes, but they be going they be switching up, bro. They switched up on Pitbull, which I knew they was gonna do. As soon as Pitbull had a situation with Rayo, as soon as Rayo had the win over Pitbull, you know, they switch up easy. They fight the fight basis. You know. You gotta take pride in being somebody who's not fight the fight basis. If you change your opinion every fight, it's just an opinion. But if you ain't changing your opinion after every fight, it's a fact. It ain't no opinion no more. Yeah, Pitbull fight everybody. He definitely him. He definitely him. But he was a, replacement though. Do you like fighters or boxers? I like fighters mostly. I like fighters mostly. Mostly like Mexican style, specifically. Real Mexican style. No jabs. You know, fight like that. Yeah, I like like how pit bull fights. Um, guys like that. Trying to think of some other ones. Cepeda. I mean, you can definitely say Benavidez is Mexican style, but yeah, like Canelo, De La Hoya, Marquez. Yeah, I always like Mexican style more. I don't really like the guys who's. I mean, I like boxers. I know how to appreciate the boxers. I don't have to see a knockout every fight, but that's not something that I'm just rushing to go see. Especially these days, we haven't had a lot of guys who just go out and fight. The tough fight. So I want to see a rough fight more. Shout out to Brandon Williams too, TNT, and shout out to Chris. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao right now is somebody who I have at the top right now, Brandon. Just because of what I've seen from him recently. Oh, you train in MMA and boxing? Oh, that's what's up. What, you a striker? You a wrestler, striker, jiu-jitsu? What you do? What you specialize in MMA? But yeah, I like Manny Pacquiao right now just because of the weight classes he jumped. Like for him to jump those weight classes, and then we got other guys. Yeah, for him to jump them weight classes, and we have other guys who's like struggling to do it. It's like, man, Manny Pacquiao. People don't understand, man. We put a lot of pressure on Manny Pacquiao. People think the pressure that we put on Canelo and Tank is something. Bro, Manny Pacquiao was jumping like 5 or 6 weight classes. And we was still like, man, this dude ain't doing nothing. Oh, you wrestled in high school? Okay, cool. Dang, you a striker but wrestled in high school? Dang. Yeah, that's kind of dangerous. Yeah, a striker who can wrestle, yeah. That's John Jones type of stuff right there. You like boxer punchers. They can go and fight. Shakur can do the same thing. No, yeah, I definitely watch those. Yeah, I learned to appreciate those, Chris. I actually grew up watching boxer punchers. I went from watching guys like Roy Jones, and then just one day I was like, I don't know why I like watching De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. But yeah, I definitely appreciate it though. That's why I'm still trying to figure out why I started liking Floyd so much. Cause when I was watching Floyd, bro, they went checking for Floyd, bro. Mike Tyson was the guy when I was watching Floyd. Oh, Capoeira, ooh. Capoeira deep. Hey, Capoeira where it's at, boy. Yeah, it's spelled a little wrong. Hey, Capoeira where it's at. I grew up on that. Yeah, Capoeira is the most dangerous fighting style I seen. But yeah, Roy Jones, man, Roy Jones, he was the guy. What people don't understand, bro, what Tank doing right now, bro, Roy Jones was doing all that. And he was moving up in weight. So I'm not used to all this guys moving down and pulling people up. I'm just not used to this. I don't understand what's going on. I'm used to guys fighting 2 or 3 weight classes up. Oh, you got the same birthday as Mike Tyson? Oh, that's wild. Yeah, that capoeira fighting style, you'll beat the crap out of somebody with that. Yeah, I'm gonna start posting more on that MMA too. I'll be dropping a lot on MMA. I know a lot about MMA, but I ain't been covering that much lately. They starting to get better though. I like the talent they got in MMA right now. I like LFA. They got some good stuff going on. But yeah, man, I'm at this point right now. What we got Tank Davis at what 30 years old? Yeah, that spinning heel kick. That's the one right there, dog. Yeah, with the hand on the ground. That's the one right there, bro. You get somebody up out of here like that. That's my favorite move too. Yeah, Brandon, you'll get somebody up out of here with that. They don't know about that one. Yeah, I seen old boy. I don't know if you seen that movie back in the day, Only the Strong. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie. It's a movie called Only the Strong. It's about capoeira. It was in Miami, bro. That's one of the best fighting movies you'll ever see. Check that out. Yeah, Roy was a freak, dog. Yeah, once he lost that explosiveness, it was over. Yeah, Brandon, that's crazy. You doing one of those, man, you knocking somebody out. That's the cleanest move in capoeira to me. All right, man, I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow, Chris. Shout out to you, dog. Had to go live one time, man. Shout out, Chris. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, Roy Jones was a beast, man. I don't think people understand how good he was, though. I'm starting to realize that now. He fought around the time. Oh, in the Protector, yeah. Yeah, Protector was that was one of the best movies. You know, Tony Jaa, he don't get that much respect. Cause he ain't on TV like how Jet Li and all them other guys was, but the real ones definitely know. He the first one I seen that was yeah, the way he was be knocking guys out with like the way he used his elbows and his knees. If you a fighter, bro, you seeing Tony Jaa use his knees and his elbows, it's over. Chris crazy. Yeah, you for real. That's what I'm telling him. I'm like, you know how to throw one of those? That's like a wilder right hand or something. Bro, throwing a spinning back kick like that? Nah. Yeah, on that movie, man, that's one of the moves you see. You like, oh, okay. Yeah, that Muay Thai it's ridiculous. That's when everybody start watching that movie. They start realizing I need to get my Muay Thai up. That's when you heard all the UFC guys talking about they studying Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu. Yeah, once they seen Tony Jaa, they was like, yeah, we got to start striking and leg kicks just ain't gonna work all day. I want to see more boxers try to get in the MMA cage. They ain't about that life, man. Ain't no boxer trying to get in the cage, man. Oh, side flips out the wall? Dang. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, he's super athletic. Oh, you going to Thailand? Yeah, that'd be the move. Yeah, I forgot what those people call that be doing those, like, when they be spinning and flipping. They call them free something. Yeah, Thailand would be the move, and Africa. Yeah, those are two hot spots right now. If you want to travel, yeah, Thailand and Africa the place to be right now. All these other countries, they look kind of ran down right now. I ain't gonna lie. From what I've been seeing, Thailand and Africa been the best spots that everybody been going to. Yeah, said triggers or triggers to be flipped. Yeah, you right about that. Yeah, I'm starting to get into the kung fu a little bit. They starting to have more of these tournaments and stuff in like kung fu. Oh yeah, Tafori, I had I was live for that fight last time, Chris. I got a little MMA channel I be messing with. I've been needing to post on there more. But I got a little MMA channel I started a couple of months ago. But I had covered that fight with Taforia. Man, I made some bread on that fight, dog. He said I tried to learn. You said give me a pound for pound list. Right now, pound for pound, I don't know. I have to go with Usyk, Crawford, um, it's a real list now. Who I got on there? Usyk, Crawford, see, I got let me post it up real quick. I'm just making one real quick. One, two, three, four, five, six. Uh, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I need two more names. Oh, okay. If I had to make one right now, I would say that's how it looks. Oh, appreciate that, Brandon. Following me, man. Yeah, this is the list right here. If I had to make a quick one without really thinking. But yeah, I'm gonna start covering some like more martial arts and things on the MMA channel. I be knowing so much about martial arts. We was on here talking one day about a martial arts for hours, but yeah, they got a lot of MMA platforms now. I'm definitely gonna get into that more. People don't understand MMA fights didn't come on like this back in the day. We used to have to watch the old ones and Pride Fighting. I don't know if everybody watched Pride Fighting before, but that's when it was real. Yeah, I had to make a real list. You know what I'm saying? That's a real list. And the reason why, you know, the reason why I put it that way. But yeah, that's a real list. Yeah, I can't put Bam over anyway right now. And it's hard for me to put Bam over Canelo, Bitterville, or Benavidez. But he's still right there though. So anybody lose or looks crazy, they're gonna end up. He said, I feel like Vasil Lomachenko stayed in the amateurs too long. He starts his fight slow now. He was raw, and then he wasn't in the amateurs too long. A lot of these guys, he went in the amateurs too long. A lot of these guys, they learn everything in the amateurs because of how much they fighting and the different styles they're fighting. They learn a lot more. These guys who turn professional, a lot of these guys still don't fight a lot. You still gotta get a fight put together when you're boxing certain people. You still gotta get a fight put together. So in amateurs, you can just keep fighting. You ain't gotta worry about fights needing to be set up. So Loma was able to fight consistently without needing to wait. See what happens in the pro game a lot in America. A lot of guys don't fight consistently a lot. That's why Usyk and Lomachenko, all these guys are so good because they had no problem staying into the amateurs until they was at a young, older age. But in America, you know, a lot of guys, they feel like they need the money right now, and you know they're not in a position where they can actually wait. They need the money now. I think a lot of those fighters are sponsored by their countries, like Lomachenko and Usyk. I think they're more so sponsored by Ukraine. So yeah, that record 396-1 is crazy. But I don't know if you know it or not, but what's the dude name? Castasiel? Castasiel had ended up, I don't know if you can look this up, but Castasiel had ended up beating Lomachenko in the Olympics. And then the next day they ended up making Castasiel give his medal back. So he had won a gold medal, but then they said that he lost the next day and talking about the scores was messed up or whatever. I don't know how you messed that up. But they ended up giving Lomachenko the gold medal the next day. So Loma he almost went undefeated easily. He said Wanderlei Silva reminds me of Bane. ah, that's funny. Silva was a monster, man. Oh my God. He said, which Wilder would stay amateur longer. Now Wilder had actually he had got a bronze medal like after just fighting. You know, Wilder ain't start boxing until he had kids. He was actually boxing because he needed some money, so you know, technically he's technically just becoming a boxer. You know, Wilder's like I don't know if he has to be like the only fighter right now that actually started boxing after they had kids. I think he has to be the only one right now. We've had fighters that started boxing that late, but not when they had kids. Like, you got to realize how late that is. Yeah, that's super late. By the time he started, he already had a family. So yeah, he always been boxing. That's why when people say he needs to learn how to box, he's learning on the job. He didn't start boxing until recently, man. That's why you never heard of him before. Yeah, it's like that with everybody. I think more so with Wilder. If he fights people the same size as him, he won't have no problem. But when he starts to fight these other guys who's heavier, and it's just the size is an issue. It's something real. But I think he's gonna be able to bounce back though. When you got a right hand like that, you always got a chance. It's the other guys I'm worried about. The guys who don't have a right hand. Those are the guys I'm like more so worried about right now. To be real with you, because the way Fury got outboxed recently, I don't know, man. I don't know if he can bounce back for real. I don't think the skills is just enough. But when you got power, you can definitely bounce back. You said what, got Morrell Benavidez? I don't know, man. I wanna pick Morrell. I got Benavidez. I got Benavidez, but I want to roll with Morrell, but I got Benavidez right now. I just want to see something like. I just want to see something like as far as. But yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Brandon. Like most of these guys, when it comes like the Wilder or Anthony Joshua or Fury, most of these guys at some point they one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? They can't usually get the knockout every time, or they can't outbox a guy. And so, a lot of fights, these guys end up being one dimensional. A lot of people don't have a lot of styles these days when it comes to boxing. They don't like to fight on the inside. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. I think the last two fights was bad examples of him though, because of his injuries he had, but I'm, I'm pretty sure in his next fight he's gonna look a lot better. I don't know how he's gonna look in his next fight because he hasn't been healthy, but I gotta see. I definitely gotta see. He said 50-50. No, it's 50-50. No, it's 50-50. But I don't think, because like Brandon was saying as far as the opening up and starting to panic, I don't think he panicked as bad as Joshua did against Dubois. When Joshua was fighting against Dubois, he panicked so bad. In the first round, when Dubois ran at him, he panicked in that situation. And he also panicked when he hurt Dubois later in that fight. I don't feel like Wilder had that same situation. I think he just, in the fight he was in against Zane, well, the Parker fight was terrible. That was just a lot of leaning and stuff like that. But as far as him getting caught, I don't think it was the same situation as what Joshua had when he opened up against Dubois. I think Wilder just got caught with a shot. And then if you look at the shot when he got dropped, that referee was running across his face. So that was a bad time for the referee to be moving like that. And to be honest with you, when I look at it, I'm like, why did the referee run that way? Because, it was close to the ropes. So if Wilder would have fell on the ropes, he would have fell into the referee. The referee ran towards that direction. So I was like, that looks weird. And then once he looked at the referee, then turned around, he got caught. Boom. It was a freak knockdown. When you look at how everything happened, it was a weird knockdown. Other than that, though, he's only been stopped by what, Tyson Fury? So I don't think it's too much of a panic. I don't think so. Yeah, he got some skills, but I don't know if he'll be able to bounce back from what. Because you got to realize Joshua got some bad losses. You know what I'm saying? Like Joshua, he's losing the guys that, like Ruiz, Usyk, Dubois. These are bad losses. And he doesn't have, and then the only win he has that's decent is like, lately, it's probably Joseph Parker. When Parker was young. He ain't really got nothing to show for the skills, though. He has much to desire. I don't think his skills have been proven yet, I would have to say. I don't think his skills have been proven. Because every time he's had a chance to prove that he's at that level, he's fell short every time. But I understand what you're saying. I think Joshua's problem is, to be honest with you, Brandon, I think he'd be too close. Like that issue that, you know how like Anderson Silva used to have? When he'll be striking and then he'll be too up close on these guys. Then he'll have to throw a knee or something. It's kind of like Anderson Silva. You know how Silva was when after he striking started to slip a little bit. It's kind of like that with Joshua. Like his distance and everything else is like an issue right now for some reason. He has all the skills as far as, because he started late too. But for some reason, like he's a little bit too close, or he's scared to move out of the way and go to the right or to the left. Yeah, he smothers punches way too much. Way too much. Yeah, it's the same thing Silva used to do. I'm like, man, that's why it's hard to watch sometimes. I'm like, Stu got all the skill, but he doing the same thing as far as his distance. And you would think that all these coaches these guys have, they'll say, well, make sure you focus on your distance. But that's what got him beat up, though, against Dubois, the distance. Most of the fights that Joshua has been in, it's been a distance issue. When he got dropped by Ruiz, way too close, smothering his punches. Against Dubois, way too close. But against Ngannou, he was in the perfect spot. Just boom, got him up out of there. I was like, whoa. But usually it's certain guys that just don't happen to. Certain people, they just don't have an issue with distance. Canelo, GSP. You said, can I ask, what is your, what's up, Eric Gomez? He said, what is your criteria for pound for pound? Anyways, pretty far down the list. Bivol never unified, and Benavidez hasn't been a champion since 2020. Well, I will ask you that question. Well, I'll answer that question for you. First of all, the reason why I have Benavidez so high is because Benavidez is probably the most active young fighter we've had since Canelo Alvarez. Benavidez has fought basically every fighter that Canelo was supposed to fight. Canelo was supposed to fight Anthony Durrell, he didn't fight him. He fought Yildirim. So Benavidez fought Anthony Durrell. He was supposed to fight Andre at 160. He didn't fight Andre, so Benavidez fought him. We wanted Canelo to fight his mandatory in David Morrell. He's not fighting David Morrell. So now Benavidez is fighting him. So we're basically, Benavidez is doing everything that Canelo was supposed to do. Why would I not give Benavidez credit for that? I don't understand that. Why would I not give Benavidez credit for fighting the guys that Canelo was supposed to fight? Canelo's been doing whatever he wants for the past 8 years. Trust me, if Canelo was doing everything I wanted him to do, or you or any other fan wanted him to do, Turkey Al-Sheikh would be invisible right now. He said, does Inoue drop on list because of his recent opponents? You said, does Inoue drop on the list because of his recent opponents? Nah, you think Inoue fought Stephen Fulton and Nonito Donaire. But you got to realize, though, Bam Rodriguez, the guy that Bam Rodriguez just fought would destroy half of these guys that Inoue is fighting. And then, as far as Tank is fighting the champion right now. We're complaining, so you got to put 2 and 2 together. So I got to put him somewhere. Shakur Stevenson, we know why he's on there. But as far as Inoue, Benavidez and Bivol, they got to be over Inoue because look at what Benavidez and Bivol is actually doing. I can basically make a case that Bivol and Benavidez's last 2 fights have been bigger than any fight that Inoue had last year. There's more people that talked about Benavidez's last performance than Inoue's performances last year. I can make a case that Bivol got more attention during his fight with Beterbiev than Inoue got in any of his fights last year. And that's not the reason you can make a case for a pound for pound, but I'm just letting you know is how much the fans are focused in on what Benavidez and Bivol are doing. And mind you, Bivol just lost a fight. So the fans recognize how much greatness that Benavidez and Bivol is actually doing. Matter of fact, the last 2 fights that the fans asked to see in boxing was a rematch between Bivol and Beterbiev and Benavidez versus Morrell. It would be a travesty. Anybody who's not putting these guys top 5 pound for pound or top 6, there's no reason to talk about the fight in a couple of weeks. It wouldn't be no reason to watch the fight this weekend. It wouldn't be no reason to watch Bivol versus Beterbiev. And we're talking about he possibly beat Beterbiev, and I'm gonna put Inoue over him? Nah. Nah, the Fulton fight was in 2023. We in 2025 now. That was like 18 months ago or something like that. That was like 2 summers ago. Matter of fact, that was when Earl Spence fought. Yeah, but he's always in the mix though. He said Canelo can be predictable. Bivol shut down his offense so cleanly. Yeah, I still gave Canelo credit for taking that fight, though. Definitely did. Yeah. Morrell, if Morrell beats him, I'm putting him on there. Absolutely. Yeah, Morrell going on there, he beats him. I don't know. You never know. The fight close, Morrell might still be on there. What people got to realize is this fight between Morrell and Benavidez, these guys might not never lose again, though. I know people might expect somebody to lose this weekend, That might be the last time they lose though. We don't know how good these guys are. The fact that they're trying to fight right now is very dangerous. I would definitely be careful picking sides because this is not going to be just a thing that's going to be over this weekend. This is going to be a lifetime type of thing. Yeah, way too active. Yeah, way too active. Yeah, that was 2023. Yeah, it feel like it's still 2024. I know what you mean. But now, yeah, Canelo, he was real for that, going to 75 and getting it done. Because he could have, to be honest with you, I wanted to see him stay at the weight classes he was at, but you know, he had one side of the world asking him to fight Triple G, so that's what he did. He went up and fought Triple G. I will say Canelo went up more weight classes than Triple G did, so you know, it made sense to me what he was doing. Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah, I was just coming up with the names, Tommy Dukes, because somebody asked me just now. I just threw the name up there. You know, I don't be liking no pound for pound list. No, but anyway, no, just anyway, you know, he kind of did it to himself, bro. Like in 10 years from now, nobody's gonna be watching Inouye versus TJ Doheny and stuff like that. Like Inouye has to realize we gotta watch these fights again in 10 or 20 years. That's what fighters don't understand. They think that the fans, we're asking for fights that's just impossible to make. No, bro, we gotta watch these fights in 20 years, bro. I'm paying for this fight forever. I'm not renting this fight. When I pay for this fight, I'm buying it forever. So this needs to be good in 2025, 2020, 2045, the year 3000. It needs to be a good fight. That's why when you say, if you look at a couple of old fights that Canelo had, it's kind of like, I'm like, okay. If y'all just want his career to be, because my whole live stream about this was, hey, don't let Keyshawn Davis fight all the guys that you want Tank Davis to fight. It would be no reason to have Tank Davis around if you got Keyshawn Davis fighting all the guys that we want Tank Davis to fight. There's no reason to have Canelo around right now if we have Benavidez fighting all the guys we want to see Canelo fighting. See, people don't understand that they're trying to get Benavidez beat, but you're just replacing the guy that you don't want replace. You know, they're indirectly replacing Canelo without even knowing it. I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? Yeah, Keyshawn nasty. And he's still developing and growing. That's the scary part about it. He's still developing, and he's fighting tougher competition. And we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see the next fight. Tank gonna show us in this Lamont Roach fight what time it is. You know, you never know. Tank might be better in this fight than he was in his last fight. I just haven't seen enough from his opponents to find out where Tank is at, as far as his stamina and everything else. I think the last time we had a complete idea was against Pitbull. Not because it went 12 rounds, but we got to see stamina, counter punching, and just a lot of things we never get to see from Tank. Yeah, I like Juntal. Juntal Beast. I got him slightly over T.O. right now. Juntal the names he getting involved with right now is just, you know, they talking about him and Bam and Inouye. You know, so I like those smaller weight classes right now. They starting to do some things. Yeah, Abdullah Mason is he a beast too. It's at 318. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah. I know what you talking about. Yeah, 318 is nasty. Yeah, I just Keyshawn and Tank those type of combinations. But yeah, I think the sport of boxing right now, I definitely have no complaints though. Like everything that's happening right now, I'm cool with. I'm all right with Canelo. What Canelo's doing, Benavidez fight this weekend. Tank's fighting Lamont Roach coming up. I mean, as long as everybody else in his division is fighting, it makes sense, I guess. Just keep it real. Because, hey, if he ain't doing nothing, somebody else is. They don't have spots for everybody. And we got Shakur Stevenson fighting Floyd Schofield, so if he goes out here and has a good performance against Floyd Schofield, that's not going to help. Quick, powerful combos. Yeah, you're right. A lot of these guys at that weight class, Brandon, at 35, they got, all them dudes got knockout power. See, the difference between Tank Davis fighting guys at 130, the guys at 130, they got power, but they not knocking you out like that at 35. At 35, everybody knocking you out. See, a lot of people don't realize that. Brandon wrestled too, so Brandon know this. Brandon, you know this. You wrestled. A 130 is a big difference between a 130 and 135. See, they don't understand that, Brandon. They think that 130 is the same thing as 35. But Brandon knows this. When it comes to combat, whether you MMA, boxing, once you get to 135, that's when dudes are slamming you on your head. That's when you getting slammed like by grown men. At 130, you can get away with smaller frame type of guys. You know, it's guys who's strong, but when you get to 35, those guys that's big like Terrence Crawford, that'll take you up out of here. That's why when you see people like me say, hey man, he need to stay at 135. I don't know what he doing playing around with 130. Because them guys at 130, they ain't gonna get you up out of here like 135. Exactly. Tommy Dukes. Exactly. Perfect example, Tommy. Perfect example. Navarrete looked like a beast at 130. He looked like a beast too. Even against when he fought against Castacio in that close fight. I didn't think Navarrete was gonna get washed in the next fight. Man, he went out there against Baranchik. He was getting destroyed, man. He was getting counterpunched so bad in that fight. Even Navarrete said, man, 135 is a huge difference. He said, it's a big difference at 135. That's why I give Lomachenko credit. That's why I lay off of Lomachenko now. I don't call him a duck, nothing like that. I know everybody probably say it, but the reason why I don't say it is because Lomachenko, he really could have turned around and said, I'll just stay at 130. Lomachenko could have never went to 130. You said replace Tank as what? Oh, as an option, Troy. What's up going on with Troy Graham? As an option, Troy. Keyshawn Davis will replace Tank Davis as an option. As far as anything that Tank Davis doing in his career, we can get Keyshawn Davis to do it. You said, why won't Tank fight Keyshawn? Things is moving a little too fast for Tank right now. And it's almost like they got the tub, they running the water for the tub, but don't nobody want to turn the water off right now. Like Tank Davis got too many options, Troy. Like I don't know if you saw the fight this weekend, Troy. Andy Cruz fought this weekend. They've been trying to use Andy Cruz and Keyshawn as a name because, you know, Andy Cruz he beat Keyshawn in the amateurs and in the Olympics. But we got to realize Andy Cruz is almost Tank Davis' age. You know what I'm saying? Andy Cruz is almost Tank Davis' age. So all the guys that's around Tank Davis' age and around his weight class, they asking Keyshawn Davis to fight. so more. They doing it so much right now, Troy, to the point where they asking Keyshawn, "Hey, will you fight Shakur?" They like, "Will you fight Shakur?" Because the fans don't believe that nobody else will fight Shakur, but they think that a guy who's friends with him will fight him because, yeah, Tank ain't doing it right now. And I'm gonna be real with you, Troy. The only way that fans will actually fix it, they gotta ask for it. You gotta ask the man for the fight. The only reason Canelo fighting Crawford right now, or that's even an option, Troy, is because we asked. The fans don't even know that. It's that simple. The only reason Crawford and Canelo is a fight right now is because we've been talking about it. These fighters don't be knowing what certain guys are talking about or what fights fans want to see. That's why some guys after a fight, they be like, "Hey, who y'all want to see me fight?" They don't really know sometimes. That's why when they ask Tank about Shakur Stevenson, they like, "What?" Tank like, "Shakur?" He said Keyshawn been looking better than him. I said, "Man, I told y'all. Y'all ain't been asking him. He would have already know what y'all was talking about before y'all asked." And it was a female that had to ask Tank why he ain't fighting Shakur Stevenson. It was a female. A black female too. I said, "Oh, okay. Out of all these reporters up here, y'all had to have a female come up here and ask Tank a real question?" Okay. Yeah, Tank killing his prime, man. He's in his prime right now. You know what I'm saying? Tank gotta understand, he in his prime right now. And it ain't like when Crawford was at 135, it wasn't that many people at 135. It's so many dudes down there at 135 right now. You got Abdullah Mason at 135. You got Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn, Lomachenko, Baranchik. You got Zepeda. You got Floyd Schofield. And you got this guy, that guy. It's just De Los Santos. It's too many guys down there. Way too many. And the thing about it is, it's starting to be more people come to 35. It's starting to be more people go to 140. So even if he move up to 140, he still got to fight the same guys. He about to be 31 at the end of this year. So Tank might fight Lamont Roach and then somebody else, and he gonna be 31. And if you look at the last 2 or 3 fights from him and a couple of other guys, like anyway, I'm like, bro, y'all ain't fighting nobody. Not that I think y'all is fighting trash fighters. I'm just saying, ain't nobody gonna remember none of the fights y'all putting on. A lot of people don't even turn on the Ryan Garcia versus Tank fight. So he putting on good fights for the night, but to remember for a lifetime, he not doing that. It's good for one night, but he ain't leaving no fight to where it's like, man, I'm finna turn on that fight again. Like a lot of people didn't turn on Tank versus Pitbull until Pitbull beat Rolly. He said that if Gary Antoine Russell beats Ryan Coleman, I could see Tank calling him out for. Yep, exactly. Me too. Me too, Tommy. I think if Gary Russell wins that fight against Ryo, he can possibly fight Tank. I agree. He said, Troy, I was talking about this earlier, Troy, and you can look this up too. The first people that asked Canelo, you can Google this too, Troy. The first people that asked Canelo about fighting Terrence Crawford was the people in Mexico. The people in Mexico is the first ones to ask Canelo to fight Terrence Crawford. I didn't even know they knew Terrence Crawford that much in Mexico. They wanted him to fight Terrence Crawford so bad. This was like probably a year and a half after he fought Spence. They wanted him to fight Terrence Crawford so bad. They said that forget about the Benavidez fight. We want that second. And we want to see Terrence Crawford first. So the people in Mexico was the first ones who actually asked Canelo to fight Terrence Crawford. I've been telling people this for about a year and a half now. Well, about a year now, Troy. That the people in Mexico was the ones who asked Canelo to fight Crawford, not people in America, because they never cared who he fought. The people in Mexico are specifically asking Canelo to fight Crawford. That's it. Crawford wasn't trying to fight Canelo. Canelo wasn't trying to fight Crawford. Canelo had brought up the fight first, and Crawford was like, nah, Canelo too big. I don't know if you remember that last year, but he said Canelo was too big last year. Then they started talking about the fight more and more. Then Crawford thought about what Charlo did in the fight, and he like, nah, I can do better than that. But he said Tank should have fought Loma Shakur. He could have fought Loma Shakur, but Tank doing in-house fight still. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, the only in-house fight Tank ain't did is Ryan Garcia, but Tank still doing in-house fights with PBC. I think that might end soon. I appreciate that, Tommy. I think that might end soon, but Tank's still doing in-house fights. Yeah, it'd be big for the area too. I want to see a DMV fight. I didn't like the Hector Garcia fight being in the DMV. That was disgusting. Why would you have the Hector Garcia fight? Bro, I can't even watch that fight, man. Man, I can't even watch that fight. I'm telling y'all, I be turning on that fight. I'm like, man, this look like. Every time I try to get through it, I'm like, man, I can't watch this. Let me turn it off. That's just a hard fight to watch in the DMV, y'all. I don't think people understand that. Then he hasn't fought since in the DMV. Just doesn't make sense. I don't know who's scheduling all these fights and stuff, but they doing a sloppy job. Oh yeah, Crawford got everything in the game. But Canelo needs to put it on the line though. You know what I'm saying, Troy? He needs to put it on the line because it's been a lot of people that put it on the line for Canelo over the years. Like Canelo was crying recently about losing 2 pounds to fight Floyd. Floyd then moved up a whole weight class to fight this man. And Floyd said, all I need you to do is meet me a little bit and lose 2 pounds. Canelo like, man, I don't know why I had to do that. What? Why you had to do that? You tripping. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Tommy Dude. See, Tommy Dude read my mind. Tank doesn't have that excuse as far as with Floyd. And I was saying this today. I don't think that's really an excuse. I think people are using that as a narrative because all the fights Floyd did for Tank, everybody brag about those. Because I thought that Barrios fight was a big fight. A lot of people didn't think that was a big fight till recently. But I thought the Barrios fight was a big fight. I thought it was a huge risk that Tank was taking. And as y'all realize, he was challenging himself when he was around Floyd. They wasn't bragging about the Barrios fight when Floyd put it together, but as y'all can see now, it was a good fight. It was a good matchup. Telling Tank to get away from Floyd was one of the worst things people could have said because he wasn't helping Tank's career. Everything that he was doing for Tank, everybody liked. You know, some of us, I didn't like certain fights because I'm looking at the landscape and I'm like, the guys you fighting just ain't making sense at this point. Fighting Gamboa 5 years after Crawford. You got to think about it. Tank fought Gamboa 5 years after Crawford did. And the man got credit for it. So I'm like, what is this? How's he getting credit for this? And Crawford knocked him. We said Canelo had nothing to gain fighting Berlanga. Yeah. I'd rather see Canelo take on Bud than William Skull. I don't know why he would take the William Skull fight. I don't understand that. That'll be a whole nother conversation because I don't think he'll go out of his way to be undisputed just for the Crawford fight. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. I can see it happening so he can be undisputed, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense. It'd be too risky. The weight is at 168, Troy, at Canelo versus Crawford. The weight is gonna be at 168. I think one thing that people probably overlook as far as the Canelo and Crawford situation is, if you just go back and look at that Charlo fight, like Charlo was about around the same size as Canelo. I don't think the size is gonna be an issue. I don't think size is gonna be an issue. You said, how was Barrios fighting to challenge the Tank when Barrios was never challenged at the time? Yeah, I understand what you're saying as far as challenged by a big name, but Barrios was already fighting tough fighters before the Tank fight was even being thought about. I had known about Barrios probably 5 years before the Tank fight was even talked about. Just from what I knew back then, see, Barrios was one of my favorite fighters already 5 years before I even knew who Tank was. So he was already one of my favorite fighters. That's why I was high up on the Barrios win. A lot of people didn't know who Barrios was when he fought Tank. So I understand what you're saying, Troy, and I agree. I'm just talking about as far as me personally. If you look at Tank's resume right now, the biggest win he has is possibly Barrios on his resume. Not Pitbull or none of those other guys. It's definitely, at this point, Barrios. And like I was saying, Troy, you're right about that because he wasn't challenged at that time. But you got to realize what I said, though. He was one of my favorite fighters. So I knew how good he was. So when he went and fought Keith Thurman and beat Ugas and whatever, I still knew he was a good fighter. You got to realize it. The man had lost to Keith Thurman, then went and fought Ugas. And people didn't start giving him credit until then. That's when people start saying, oh, well, Barrios beat Ugas. You know what I'm saying? So he needed a name attached to him, which I understand, but I knew he was good already before. That's why I'm giving Tank his credit as far as that. Oh, yeah. Nah, Troy, I agree on that. Oh, Troy, I definitely agree on that. I definitely agree on that. No, I definitely agree on that. It's too many. Hey, Troy, it's too many guys. And then, Troy, look, you know how many boxers would have loved to fight during the same era as Turkey Al-Sheikh? Could you imagine if all these other guys, like Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins and Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, if all those guys, sure, you could throw Joe Calzaghe in there. If all those guys was boxing right now with the money they throwing around, come on, man. Ain't nobody finna be fighting on once a year, man. You got a dude handing out $100 million right now, a fight, for one fight, 30 minutes. And you got guys out here fighting for 30 minutes and don't want to get $100 million? That's insane to me. Troy right though. You don't leave no legacy like that. He's not. Oh, I definitely don't think he's leaving a legacy by what he's doing. Definitely not leaving a legacy. Like I said, man, he's gonna end up. Tank gonna put himself in a position where 5 years after he retire, somebody else gonna have a better resume than him. If Tank said, you know what, I'm retired, bro. I ain't doing nothing else. I ain't even finna fight Roach. I'm good. and he go home and sit at home right now, in 5 years, Keyshawn will have a better resume than him. That's the reality of it. So it ain't gonna be no reason to argue about comparing anybody to Tank Davis who's still boxing, because they gonna still be boxing. When he hangs it up, that's gonna be it. And a lot of people they frustrated right now. They don't want to pay for this. Not saying his fight coming up, you know what I'm saying? That's the choice of them. But as far as they don't want to pay for an illusion, like a reality show, they want to see the real thing. It's a difference between supporting somebody and just being a fool and giving away all your money. You know, that support word it's a little flimsy these days. He said Tank win beating Pedraza was solid for how young he was. Yeah, that was a solid win. Yeah, I like the Pedraza win. A lot of stuff been questionable though. Like Troy was saying, a lot of stuff been questionable. Like the Leo Santa Cruz going down to fight him. Okay, he was a name at the time. Small guy. Him being taller definitely helped, you know, clean that up as far as the weight class and everything. But yeah, man, once he got to certain fights, it was just like, I don't know, man. Rolly, all these other guys. I mean, it's just fights you don't want to see. It's just fights you don't want to see. You know when somebody's fighting a guy that you definitely want to see. Like right now, Dimitri Bivol lost to Bitterbill, right? But if I sit up here and say, well, Canelo gonna fight Bitterbill or Bivol, you gonna watch either one. You'll watch either one. But if you name some guys I'll take resume right now, if you say, man, I want to see Haney fight Hector Garcia, you're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to see that. Hey, I want to see Haney fight Rolly Romero. Nah. Haney fought Gamboa after Tank did, and everybody was complaining. They were like, man, why is Haney fighting Hector Gamboa for? So they tell you they know the resume ain't that good, and there ain't no legacy behind the fight. They think that a lot of these young guys like Keyshawn and Devin Haney is the same age as Tank. It's not. These guys ain't supposed to be fighting these guys. They fighting for another 2 or 3 years. Tank was supposed to fight Lomachenko first before all these other guys. Teofimo. Y'all gotta realize we've been looking past all this stuff for years. Y'all don't think that I wanted Tank to fight Lomachenko first? I was sitting here like, bro, Lomachenko finna fight Teofimo? I'm like, dang, they don't want to fight Tank? Nah, that ain't the case. So what was Tank's first fight since he left Floyd, when they said he stopped doing fights with Floyd? The first fight was, they say, Frank Martin. Frank Martin, the first fight. The second fight, what? Lamont Roach? Yeah, he need to call Floyd back. He need to call Floyd back. Still doing in-house fights. Still saying that guys outside of the house ain't trying to fight. I just can't believe that. You know when certain people want to make fights outside of the house? The only fight you made was the one Ryan Garcia. And then went out of your way to say you'll make the rematch. So we actually we destroying young guys' careers right now by saying they ducking Tank. Because he ain't really going out of his way to fight these guys. So I'm going to just say a guy who ain't got a chance is ducking. And I'm going to hurt his career. You know, not too long ago, people were saying certain guys wasn't on his level. So you got to prove yourself to actually even be in the same division as him and have a belt. So Keyshawn, he's going to have a belt like Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to prove himself and show his worth. And if he's good enough. Like you said, Ryan, yeah, you're right. But like I was saying earlier, though, Ryan, right now we got video of Tank and Ryan fighting Devin Haney. But who did better, though? So Tank can't even hold his hat on that. If I was a lawyer and I was in the courtroom right now, I'd say, Tank, how was your win? I mean, I'll say to Tank, hey, how did you fight Ryan Garcia at 100% if he looked better against Devin Haney than you did? You know. That's actually a real question out here. You know, Ryan Garcia has looked better than Tank in his last fight. So to me, he also got something to prove because it's like, hey, you got to prove that that guy was the same as he was when he fought Haney. That's the good part about what I'm saying. But yeah, man, the sport is definitely getting a cleansing right now. We're starting to find out who's the best and who's not. Like them days of me, hey, as a boxing fan, I'm just gonna say this. If you got a fighter who's an American that you like, don't try to say that 5 to 10 Americans is ducking him. Unless you know for sure that promotional company is blackballing somebody, which does happen. But ain't nobody blackballing Tank Davis right now. Come on now. It ain't going on. He's not being blackballed. He has the opportunity to fight anybody right now. I haven't heard of anybody turn down a Tank Davis fight except Williams and Pater. and Teofimo Lopez. And y'all can look around right now and see that that wasn't a coincidence. Do y'all know that? The only people I've heard of that turned down the Tank Davis fight was Williams and Pater and Teofimo Lopez. Two guys who's not fighting anybody right now. So it's not just a Tank Davis thing where people are bringing up fights, and it's a Williams and Pater thing. It's a Teofimo thing. Because last time I checked, Richardson Hitchens is at 140, and he just made Liam Paro look pretty easy. And Liam Paro is still a guy who can compete with a Kambosos or whatever. So it's a lot of guys at 140 who still would give guys like Teofimo a lot of trouble. So this isn't just one weight class. It's happening across the board. That's what I love about boxing though. These guys can tell us all they want about how they the best and who ducking, but you gotta prove it though. And money is not an issue no more. You all gonna be on the same platform fighting on the zone. Everybody's gonna be on the same platform under one conglomerate. There's no more excuses. It's gonna be a lot of guys that's gonna have to retire. Like it's gonna have to happen. Retirement is a must at this point. Because they're not playing. They're not playing no more. Too much money being handed out. People thought that Tyson Fury retiring was a joke or anything like that. A lot of people said, oh, he's just playing. He'll come out of retirement. His own promoter, Frank Warren, just said he's retired, man. He's retired. He's retired. This ain't no prank or nothing like that. This dude, the last time Tyson Fury retired, he was done. He was done. That man won the biggest fight of his life and ran away from boxing for 3 years. And had to have Wilder come up, pull him out of retirement. The man took off 3 years in the middle of his prime after winning the biggest fight of his life. Trust me, he's not worried about no money. So a lot of these fights is definitely going to pressure you into certain situations. That's why, you know, guys like Joshua, Wilder, they got to have thick skin because they got a lot of attention on them. Took some tough losses. This is the generation of social media where, you know, people make certain jokes and stuff after you take a loss. Well, certain narratives get built, so you gotta have thick skin. Everybody ain't built like that. That's what people don't understand. A lot of these fighters ain't built the same. Shoot, even Joshua lost it after that Usyk fight, so everybody ain't built the same. Ryan, I done seen him say the same stuff. I can't get into too much of it because, you know, you got a lawsuit going on. I ain't trying to have my name up in there. Well, I don't know if it's still going on, but you know. But shoot, Ryan even said it, man. The pressure of the fans saying that he was trash and he wasn't a good real fighter. I ain't gonna say what that was a response to, but you can put two and two together if you're smart. They said something about him, why he did something, whatever. Then he was talking about how the fans is pressuring him and calling him trash every day on Twitter. See, I study everything. I remember when before Ryan fought before he fought Tank, they was going to his comment section going in. I'm talking about he used to get destroyed in the comment section. That's when I realized then, I was like, oh man, they think he's a trash boxer for real. He was getting destroyed. When he said that, I said, yep, I know what happened now. I ain't got to say much. But yeah, all of it's basically getting revealed, man. It's about that time. It's about that time. The way February is looking right now, we're gonna have so many fights come on over the next couple of weeks. I'm not gonna have nothing to talk about. I'm gonna just be talking about what happened. When Keyshawn fights in a week and a half, but matter of fact, he fights about 9 days from now. Well, in 9 days, we'll be knowing if he's champion or not. But once we realize what actually happened in the sport, we're gonna look back and be like, man, a lot of these guys ain't really put on no fights. That's why we got to the position now we in. Fans are just like, man, we just want to see 50-50 fights. That is sad, bro. I feel like it's my duty to call out the BS in boxing because we're to the point now where we're just begging to have a 50-50 fight. That should be something that's normal. You know what I'm saying? They've been milking the game of boxing. They've been milking the fans and everybody so long that we finally to a point now where we're like, hey, we just want a 50-50 fight. And we want to be treated the same as everybody else. Like, this is sad. A 50-50 fight. I was thinking about that like for the past 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, boxing is at an all-time low to where we gotta say, hey man, can we have a 50-50 fight? Now we're definitely getting big fights now and everything else. I don't want to make this that type of a situation, but just to think about that, to where you got to be satisfied that you're now getting 50-50 fights, that should have never been a problem. That's why the product ain't been top tier. We just now getting 50-50 fights. That is insane. That's like the lunch lady been cooking your food all the way till you about to graduate. Then she say, you know what? I washed my hands today. Since I know you're gonna graduate, I'm gonna wash my hands for you today. I usually don't wash my hands, but today I'm gonna wash my hands before I cook your food. Like, man, what? You ain't been doing what? Like, that's your job. You supposed to wash your hands. And it's these fighters' job, man. They supposed to be doing this already. It's your duty to put on a 50-50 fight. As a fighter, that's why I'm saying you got to be fans of certain fighters, bro. It's a lifestyle. People think boxing is just, it's a way of life, dog. When you pick a boxer, your boxer is supposed to be picking a 50-50 fight off jump. He's supposed to be picking somebody he think that's going to beat him. Not somebody from back in the day that used to be cool. And we talking about somebody that can beat me. I need to be jumping in the ring with them. The fact that that's no longer an option. I'm not fighting a guy who's a threat. Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it right here. And that's why the value down. That's why other countries can easily just take over right now, because all they got to do is put on a 50-50 fight. UK been putting on good fights, 50-50. I'm like, man, we got to watch Pro Box to get a 50-50 fight now? That's wild. Or pay-per-view. That's sad in America, man. You got to watch Pro Box or pay-per-view to get a 50-50 fight. And that's it. Everything else undercard. That's going to be good. I heard people complaining about the what card? The Canelo card with Berlanga. When they had Rolly so high on the card. I don't know how he was over. I don't know how they had him over Stephen Fulton and Caleb Plant. That was the fact that he fought after Caleb Plant and Stephen Fulton. I'm like, popularity getting out of hand, bro. And nobody liked the fight he had. I think it was a good style matchup, but it wasn't an entertaining fight. And he's not known for being an entertaining fight. I know the Tank fight was entertaining, but he's not known for bringing excitement to a fight. Even Tyson Fury is known for bringing some kind of excitement to every fight. It don't mean just knockouts. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all guys about a random topic tonight. I won't be on live, so when I do come on live, I try to give people something to listen to. But I'm gonna be up with some more videos. Just wanted to come through and chop it up with everybody. I know it's a late night. You know, people got different schedules though, so you know, some people pop in, say what they need to say, and keep it pushing. But yeah, I agree with most of what everybody was saying tonight, especially, you know, Troy Graham left some good information, like, and he's speaking. Like, the people are speaking now. Oh, appreciate that TNT, man. Appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. Trying to go live a lot more. You know, it be a lot of things going on, man, for real. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming through and talking about a lot of things that's going on. I'm gonna be back on probably in the morning. I'm gonna drop some more videos tonight, but I'll probably be back in the morning. If you got any topics, you can probably let me know. But I'm gonna probably talk about this card coming on. I know I'm gonna talk about prospects tomorrow, but I'm gonna talk about this card, this undercard, and probably some Carissa Shields stuff tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, cause Thursday tomorrow, unless some big news come out tomorrow. Usually it's big news that come out on Thursdays when they have fight week coming up. So there's a lot of fights being announced. Unless it's some big news coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna be back like the same time tomorrow. I'm gonna try to start coming on there at night and in the morning. Yeah, trying to pop on a little bit more. But yeah, I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I'm gonna try to post early before I go live. See how that works. But yeah, I just wanted to chop it up about that topic because I felt like that was something that needed to be talked about. Like, I don't know if people realize it, but 135 is starting to get a little crowded, which is it's a good problem to have, but it's a problem. You don't ever want problems in boxing. But yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for coming through and listening. We can have some good topics to talk about. I'm gonna talk more about the fight that comes on Saturday, the undercard. I feel like the workout and the weigh-ins is gonna really bring a lot of attention to the fight. But the workouts was good today. I feel like the workouts was good. They're gonna have a press conference tomorrow. I think it's gonna be the final press conference, so I think it's gonna be a lot of good things for this weekend. It's gonna be a huge weekend of boxing. Every fight gonna be a lot better than people realize, especially the undercard. But then Carissa Shields fighting Sunday. I mean, it's a perfect way to start the month of February when it comes to boxing. If people just continue to, request certain things in boxing, it'll get done pretty easy. I mean, if there's any time that fans should be demanding certain fights, it's now. You have Turkey Al-Sheikh who's involved right now. He basically has an open checkbook. Might want to ask for certain fights right now while you can. Because it's gonna be a certain point where this ain't gonna be possible. But the fans who are smart, they're doing it right now. You got people that ask for Morrell versus Benavidez, they got it. They asked for Crawford versus Canelo, they got it. So any fight you can think of that you want to make, you're gonna get it. It was people asking about Schofield and Shakur Stevenson. That's gonna happen. It was asking about Keyshawn Davis fighting for a belt. That's gonna happen in a week. Daniel Dubois fighting Joseph Parker. That's happening in 2 or 3 weeks. Well, in 3 weeks. They wanted Virgil Ortiz to fight a top guy. He fighting Majramov. So all of this stuff is happening. But you don't want to be the fighter it's only going to be a couple of fighters who's not going to be involved as far as the whole situation, but we'll have to see. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I'll talk to you guys later, tomorrow. I'll drop some more news tonight.